I have so much stuff to do.
Can you hear me? Are you able to get on Facebook Live yet or not? I just want to know what to announce.
Yep, we can hear you loud and clear. We still cannot get the connection.
Fine, that's fine. I just wanted to make sure I announced the right thing.
Thank you.
Thank you. We can go live at any time?
Yep, right now we're good.
Thank you. And Zoom is ready to go?
Zoom is ready?
It's on.
Okay. Welcome to the Board of Assessors meeting for today, February 13th?
12th.
12th?
And it's March.
Oh, gosh. I have to start over. Welcome to the Board of Assessors meeting today, March 12th, 2025. In accordance with the requirements of the open meeting law, please be advised this meeting is being recorded. Unfortunately, it is not being broadcast live on the Facebook Live public access because we cannot contact it, but it is being done live over the Zoom. But it also will be recorded. The recording can be found at the Lunenburg Access YouTube channel after the meeting. That is https://www.facebook.com/lunenburg-public-access-cable-157-427-270-975-305/. The meeting will be held in person at this location, which is the Bellata Room of Town Hall. Members of the public are welcome to attend this in-person meeting. Please note that while an option for remote attendance and/or participation is being provided as a courtesy to the public, the meeting will not be suspended nor terminated if technological problems interrupt the virtual broadcast, unless otherwise required by law. Members of the public with a particular interest in a specific item in this agenda should make plans for in-person versus virtual attendance accordingly. For remote participation from a computer, please use the link I'll read off to you for the public meeting webinar. It is https://us0.web.zoom.us/811-52002-194. Again, the meeting ID is 811-520-2194. You shouldn't need a passcode. From a telephone, you can dial 888-475-4499 and enter that webinar number that we just mentioned, 811-520-2194 with a pound sign. If you have not registered for Zoom, you will be asked for your name and an email address. No participant ID is required. Just press the pound sign when asked. Telephone users may dial *9 to request to speak after joining the meeting. Computer and app users may use the raise hand feature to request to speak. Additionally, this is new, please be advised the town of Lunenburg utilizes the Zoom platform as its host for hybrid and remote meetings, that the Zoom platform utilizes AI technology known as AI Companion to create audio transcription. I know, I shouldn't have trouble with that. Audio transcriptions of meetings to aid in the subsequent preparation of meeting minutes, and that AI Companion is activated immediately upon launching Zoom application. You are hereby notified that this AI technology may capture audio prior to the start of the meeting and/or following the conclusion of the meeting. The agenda lists all topics which may be discussed at the meeting and are those reasonably anticipated by the chair. Votes may be taken as a result of these discussions. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by open meeting law. I'll now call the meeting to order. It is 6:38. Are there any opening comments from the board? Mr. Rabbit.
Thank you, sir.
Please lean into the microphone or move it to your face.
Chair, is there any way we can reduce the volume? Because there's a lot of echoing.
There is.
Can I ask the technology folks to turn the volume down just a little bit? Proceed.
Okay, two things if I could, since they are not on the agenda, but they've been part of our regular rolling agenda. Specific to the issue of the conference, basically the circuit breaker, just want to point out that Margaret Scarsdale sent out a flyer that identified why you really want to use the circuit breaker.
Great.
I thought that was excellent.
That's not really anything to do with the conference, but go ahead.
Well, it was one of the issues
mentioned.
featured, and one of the tools that we're going to be using.
Go ahead.
Okay. And the other one was that, if you've noticed, the Ledger hasn't picked up the conference yet, only because they had some technical difficulties with regard to somebody showing up to generate the article. It's being worked. And so we'll get some more
Additional marketing, great.
every chance we get, right?
Thank you. Anything else?
Yes, the other piece is that the KPIs are operational metrics that we talked about earlier. I had a chance to put together some ideas in terms of our own key process indicators, and I'm not looking for a discussion, but I was hoping you'd take a look at that and say, why don't we start measuring? Okay, I'll get another one for you, Lynn.
Funny.
Okay. Did everybody get one?
Everybody is, yes.
Did Lynn, you get one?
Yeah, I got
Okay. And it's just that what gets measured gets done, and we're from the world that has a tendency to, in our past lives, right, we tried to measure as much as we possibly can in terms of the systems performances and the loads on the systems. We initiated a placeholder on the website, now had a chance to expand upon that, clarify it quite a bit more. Linda, I just used somebody, for the fun of it, I just used your report this week to see what it would look like to use the right kind of verbiage, and I would ask that perhaps we could have this on the agenda for next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And thanks for the work.
Always lots of fun, right?
Anything from you, Ms. Kammer?
No.
I have nothing. I have one thing. At the meeting on Monday, the town, what's it called? I just lost the word.
Oh, yes, with regard to nominating.
Nominating
a certain
folks.
person that we
At the
know.
caucus, that just,
Yeah, that's
old
okay.
people are terrible.
Yeah.
At the caucus, we did get a nominee for the one-year position that is opening with Mr. Rabbitt's resignation, and that was me. We still have an opening, as far as I know, for a three-year position, and there was no nominee. So please, somebody out there, take the time to get 50 signatures. We are going to need a third member.
Right.
That's all I have. Is there any comment from the public? Do we see anything on
I don't see any.
Zoom? Nothing on Zoom. I see nothing from the public at this time, so let's move right into the status report from the principal assessor.
Okay. Does anyone need an extra copy?
Nope.
Jack?
You need one? Or you
No, but I did go through it
Okay.
in detail.
All right. We received 2 abutters lists within the past month of when we last met. We have received 4 additional exemptions that are awaiting approval by the Board of Assessors, which we will go over tonight in executive session. And to date, we have received 126 real estate exemptions.
Did you say 126?
She did.
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
We had a total of 37 real estate and personal property abatements. Just as a summary, 11 abatements have been granted for a total of $8,796.66. 8 abatements were denied. We have actually 5 that are awaiting additional information. They haven't scheduled. We're waiting for an authorization from an attorney, or excuse me, from a homeowner, because an attorney had filed the abatement. So,
Didn't you say one of those 5 was also not going to be done earlier today?
yes. One of those 5 was actually after February 3rd.
Was submitted too late, so we can't
Yeah.
review it.
Yep.
Thank you.
So actually, instead of 5, it's 4. So 9 have been denied so far. 4 are awaiting additional information or an inspection to be scheduled. And we have 13 that are ready to be reviewed tonight in executive session. So we only have 4 remaining. So we will see what the dates are, when they filed, and we have 90 days from the time the
Right.
application was filed.
For you, Mr. Chair, is it possible to explain a little bit what an inspection entails?
You could take a second and do that.
Yeah, I can. So as part of the abatement process, it requires an interior and an exterior inspection. By the inspection, we actually take the property record card, we go through it, we measure the house, and as we're going through the house, we check the heat. Pretty much everything is reviewed on the property record card. And we also go through and we look at the comments that were made on the application. If we answer any questions with that. We also pull sales, and we reference the sales that we pulled from the MLS. So,
And just for the people at home, is that also what happens during a cyclical inspection that's going to be happening around town?
no, that is different. Yeah. Cyclical is required every 10 years. They will, well, the abatements are, the measure is done at that time because we're checking the property record card as part of the abatement process. On a cyclical, they will be, also have a property record card. They will be measuring and looking at the exterior. They will knock on the door. If the homeowner does not want them to enter, or for an interior inspection, that's their decision. They're not required to do that. But the DOR does require us to do cyclical inspections every 10 years to ensure that the property record card is correct and that the assessment is fair.
Yeah, and that's normal.
Normal, yes, every town has to. It's
We
a
have to do-
requirement.
We have to do a portion every year,
Yes,
even though
we
we
do.
have just done a reeval.
Yep. It's different than the reval. The reval wasn't,
Right.
that was just looking at sales, essentially. So.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay, next item, we received 125 motor vehicle excise tax abatements. So that first motor vehicle excise tax commitment that went out, we have been very busy. Our phone's been ringing off the hook. We have a lot of traffic in the office, so. And
traffic.
actually, that total, I have more that Robin did today, so that 125 might be 150, just because of the activity we've had in the office, because I did this report.
As of the writing.
Yeah,
Yep.
as of the writing. Denise, our data collector, still continues to follow up on the building permits. I have submitted some more maps to CAI. I have not heard back from them. We did have a linking issue with the parcels being linked from Vision Appraisal to CAI and vice versa. So I am waiting to hear how many parcels are not linking, but we are working actively to address that situation. And also, when deeds come in, we do have additional parcels. I actually had 2 parcels today that need to be added, so. But again, to kind of explain the issue of why this is happening, because we didn't have this issue last year. I think it might be the fact that the maps are being updated on the wrong computer in the office, and/or CAI's procedure has actually changed, the way that they're doing their updates. In addition to that, there's been new parcels that were not received in the assessor's office from 22 and 23. So it's a combination of probably all 3 of those issues.
Yeah. Excuse me.
But I will,
I just think, okay, you've just done some really good homework on something that has occurred, and you've identified these 5 possibilities, and you kind of want to do some sort of a root cause in terms of how did those occur. Would it make sense for us to try and fire up a corrective action response system that says we're going to record what happened, so the next time it goes through, we have checkpoints to make sure that this doesn't happen again? Otherwise, it's going to be a lost learning opportunity.
well, I think CAI, I feel pretty confident that they're going to resolve the issue. At this point, I'm waiting. The mapping issue is actually going to be something that, as far as making sure that we're getting plans, that's something that I am going to address. because we haven't been receiving plans in our office.
So when Jack uses some of those buzzwords, what he's
Yeah.
really saying is we need to document what was wrong
Yeah,
and document what's supposed to be done. So the bottom line is, that's what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
So, he worked in quality, so he talks in terms of quality terminology.
I apologize.
But the rest of us, it's just identify what was wrong, fix it, and then document how it's supposed to be done right. And that's really what we're looking for, and make sure those documents are then available to future generations of assessors.
Yes.
Right,
This is-
checkpoints. Thank you, thank you, Brian. Thank you.
Well, it's a lot of times the terminology throws us off, and when we're talking about what we're really doing, it's pretty straightforward.
Right.
yeah.
And that's stuff we're going to do.
Yeah, and we're working with, part of the problem is with CAI also, so at least on our end, we're taking steps to correct it
Yeah.
and resolve it, so hopefully it doesn't happen next year, and we expect as a vendor, they're going to do this.
And in Jack's defense, I think historically, we haven't really documented when something's been fixed.
Or how-
I don't mean we, I mean the office, the whole process. There's no documentation on our fix, so we need to document the fix and keep that right in front of folks.
Right, and if I could add to yours, you don't have to do this all yourself. We have the right to go back and ask the folks that are generating this, or the problems that they had, why did this happen? Can you give us a response? What are you doing to make sure it doesn't happen again? And not pointing fingers, but there's usually a pile of contributing factors. It's very rarely just one or two. It's usually a dozen at least. And so ask them into the problem. Bring them into the problem.
Well,
Yeah.
I think she's doing that.
We have done that. We have resolved the issue with it being updated on the proper computer. It's updated on my computer weekly, so at least we know that's being done correctly.
Yeah.
It was updating to CJ's computer, which is probably the reason why we didn't have any issues last year with this, because it wasn't.
Something new. Everything changes.
And we had no issues with the butters list, but this year, for some reason, I think it's something on their end as well. And CII, I have been working directly with them, and they've been very helpful, so.
And as long as if you can ask them, document it and tell us how you're going to make sure that it doesn't happen on your end again,
Yeah. Yep. We
That's
have actually
cooperative sy-
started a lot of those, we have in the office. You haven't been in the office lately, but you should see what we've done. We have stuff
I know, I haven't
on the
been here in a month.
OneDrive. It's very organized. We have stuff filed. It's
love it.
amazing. We've made a lot of headway.
They've really made a big dent in the fire hazard that was the closet. Honestly, it's a huge dent.
You maybe half the smell went away, the musty smell went away
That
too?
was a very important corrective action.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, we've been.
Okay,
Okay, thank you.
thank you.
And then Robin has actually sent out second requests for chapter land if people did not return their application by March 1st. And actually, the 3 ABCs as well. We've sent out a letter giving a deadline of April 10th. So if we have not received a chapter land application by April 10th, the parcels will return to the full value.
Okay. Is that a policy that we have to vote on, that we're essentially twice is it, and after that, there's no hope, you're going to get hit?
We could document a
You
policy.
can document a policy if you
Yeah.
want.
It's
I would think
It's the de
that's-
facto policy, but we probably should document
We're
it.
going to adopt that as,
Yeah.
2 times and that's it.
So we've been doing that. We've also been going through the chapter land to make sure that there are liens. And Robin is doing research on the registry of deeds, and we have found some chapter land parcels that do not have liens. I don't have the exact total yet because she's still working on it, but that's something that we're going to need to request. Because every chapter land should have a lien. So I think that might have been missed
And
in all these.
and if I could add, every deferral's going to have a lien placed with it as well.
We don't have any deferrals.
Yeah, I haven't
Yeah,
received any deferrals.
Okay, an update on that.
We've still not gotten an update, so
Yeah.
Okay, we're not, okay.
And then vision appraisal will begin cyclical inspections on March 18th. I'm sure everybody is aware. I've heard that Facebook has gotten comments. So this was a letter that was uploaded to our website, sent to the police, and there will be one representative from Vision that will be going out. I have his car, his license plate identified, and
Just a question back to you.
Yeah.
Why were we not involved in the development of this letter?
I'm sorry, I just wrote it, and, yeah, just because,
It comes as a surprise to us. Not that there needed to be a letter.
Yeah.
But that this letter is out there, that it needs to be mailed to specific individuals, but I think it also wound up published on our Facebook page or someplace, and
Yeah.
this is communication from the board that isn't from the board, because the board hasn't seen this.
Vision had requested that this is their standard.
All reasonable, it just,
Yeah.
for future reference, we need to be involved in anything that's going to be public communication.
Okay,
So thank you for doing it.
yeah,
Again, it came as a surprise, so.
okay.
He-
I apologize for.
Did he already start? doing-
No, he hasn't started. I just wanted to make everybody aware, because he's going to be coming next Tuesday. And so they wanted,
That was time sensitive. Oh, I
Yeah.
get why, where we are.
yeah,
Just,
yeah. I was just concerned with the time. They wanted, they actually wanted to start this like 2 weeks ago, and it's just been crazy in our office. I had to hold off on it.
okay.
But this is not going to be mailed out. They are not going to mail this letter to homeowners, from what I understand. They are going,
They have a schedule of the homeowners they're going to visit, right?
they have a schedule.
They're not
by
gonna
s-
sell-
They said they are not going to send letters, which I was kind of surprised with that. This representative is going to have this letter, so
I really think that's
I think that maybe what we should do is,
I'd like to go back and see what the contract says, because I
Yeah.
think they're supposed to communicate to the homeowner.
I think it should be done by the street, and then, because,
I think they're
People should-
supposed to be
you know,
communicating
especially
to
if
the
they
homeowner.
are hoping to do anything interior, like, people need to know
Yeah.
they're coming. And also, like, if there's some random person on my property, even if they're registered with the Lunenburg Assessor's Office and the Lunenburg Police Department, and it's here, there's a random person in my driveway, I'm not looking at their license plate, I'm like, who is this? Because nobody just shows up at my house.
no, I agree. They're going to come in next week. I actually spoke with the woman at Vision, because I know when we go out, we have a door hanger that we leave. There's been some mixed messages about that. Vision doesn't like to leave the door hangers. We can leave the door hangers, but we're also going to be doing the second callback. So my thought, and this is what I was going to discuss tonight, was that they're supposed to mail out letters for us. I think they should be mailing it out by street. And I've done cyclicals in the past, and typically, the town mails out the letter, they give like a 2 or 3 week notice, and then with that,
And they're-
so,
They're being compensated to do all this.
Yeah.
And I get that they want to do it in a hurry, but they still have a responsibility to do their job. So
yeah.
if our contract says they're supposed to mail out letters, they need to mail out letters.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Sarah, I agree with you. I thought that was our process.
Well, I thought that was too, and I'm going to, actually, when he comes into the office, I'm going to clarify that.
First thing is, look at the contract, because if they're
Yeah.
not called upon to do it in the contract, then we really don't have a leg to stand on other than
Shame
say,
on us
please.
for not putting
No.
that in.
The other thing about this is that Janice and I are going to be handling the callback, so if someone isn't
Right.
home, and I guess what Vision's going to do is, at that point, they're going to mail out the letters. They're going to mail out the letters after, for anybody that they didn't reach, to call our office, and then we're going to be getting the phone calls and making the second inspection. So they won't be doing the second inspection, but
I would just urge him to do that, because there are people who are way more reactionary
Yeah.
than I am.
Well, no, I did have a town employee come in
Yeah.
today and said, please don't send them to our house. And what we will do is, if people do choose, if they want to call us and tell us, I don't want them coming on our property, we will notify Vision that they're not
Yeah.
allowed to enter the property. They, as a homeowner, they have that right. But my thought was, if they're only going to send out the letters after they make the inspection and then tell them to call our office, we're going to have to send out the letters, and I think we should send it out by the street. Not this letter, but another letter that we can write up, just saying that,
So do the research we need to do, and we'll figure out what the next steps have to be from our office.
yeah. He will be coming in next week, next Tuesday, to pick up the streets. So at that point, I'd like to kind of make a schedule with him as to what day he's going to be on this street. From my understanding, I believe at this point, he's the only one doing the inspections. There's 500 of them to be done.
Even if you can't nail it down to the day,
Yeah,
you can nail it down to the week.
Yeah.
Or just say it's coming in the next couple weeks. That gives people at least a heads up.
yeah.
Yeah, and-
I don't want people showing up at someone's house and getting bitten by a dog because they,
Right,
Well, there've been
Yeah.
break-ins and a lot of cars
Yeah.
around town.
yeah.
too,
This
so-
letter was just for the police
Yeah.
and just to
Yeah.
put up on the website. This isn't being mailed out to anybody, but we do need to make another letter that's going to be mailed to the homeowners. So if, I will get the
Honestly,
streets,
Once it gets put on Facebook, like, everybody in town
Yeah.
knows,
yeah.
mostly.
If you're looking at them anywhere. By the way, Linda, that's also a good indicator. When you send a letter, if you measure, it's an indicator of future performance or where they are. So if we're getting, 100 letters a week sent out, that's good. We know we're on target.
Yeah.
If they only send a letter out every so often, not so good. We know we're not doing really well. So it's a good indicator, and I thought we had it. That's just it.
well,
Well, I will next Tuesday when he comes in. I'm going to hear more about what the plan is as far as the streets.
Yeah.
And at least at that point, I think a letter should be sent out to these residents by the street. And again, if we have to do it, we'll do it in our office. I know we are paying for a letter, but
And I know you were doing it in your prior life.
I was.
Yeah,
I did
I've
do
read the letters.
cyclicals.
I stole the letter. Remember that? I stole a letter, yeah.
Yeah, I have done cyclicals, so I understand the
Yeah.
whole process, and and very sensitive to homeowners.
Yeah, we've got complaints.
okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Yep.
Good job.
Let's see. So I do have 3 chapter land applications, if you want to review them.
These are new, we've not
They're
seen
new.
before. Okay.
Yeah. Actually, I take that back, just 2. We only have 2. One of them was supposed to come in and it hasn't.
Oh.
That was on my initial list. So I don't know if you want to review them now?
They're not on the agenda anywhere else, so this is probably a good time.
Okay. All right. This is the first one.
And that's public knowledge, public information, so we can read off the address. I think.
That's
It's for
recreation.
recreational
Yeah.
land.
They have
at
to have
least
5 acres.
They have 8.96 acres. And they have, yeah, and it's not due till what, October 1st?
Yeah, they'll actually have to, no, actually, it's the December chapter land was extended.
Okay,
That's actually, yeah.
okay. Want to read it?
Does this include the lien already or not?
Does it what?
Include the lien.
No, this is just the application at
Okay.
this point. This is very beginning stages. Yeah, I actually did a rollback today for 100 Townsend Harbor, and I was actually able to get a, kind of like a template from Rena's daughter in Leominster, which makes it so easy to calculate all the rollback taxes.
Oh, that's
With
great.
the interest, yeah, so there's so much to this chapter land. And we have-
Cooperation between communities? What if?
Yes, we all try to work together. So, yeah, there's a lot of detail.
That's a great model for inside communities as well.
Yeah. It is.
Wow.
This is the next one. I put little notes that he filed, and he wouldn't be, this is a 61A, so we couldn't get this until the 26th, or FY 2027.
Oh, so this is.
We
for
don't
next
really need to
year?
vote on these because we're going to be signing them.
Yeah,
That's our vote.
yeah. This is a 61A.
Wait a minute, so where are we,
much fill
where
out
are we
there.
signing them?
No, he would fill out on, it's agriculture.
But he didn't,
Oh,
So he didn't
fill it out.
He
We
didn't
are-
really fill it out.
as far as I can tell, we're not going to be signing
He's
these,
going to need
Linda.
to fill it out, I think.
So we'll just have to, unless, are we signing them here? Because there's not 3 lines.
Oh, it says-
He hasn't filled this part out yet.
Well, he filled this out, but he didn't fill this out. But I guess
Yeah.
the most important thing about
Although he does
this,
specify this.
yeah, so he has to be farming for 2 years.
You can't do it yet.
He wouldn't qualify actually till 27.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
he can't do it yet.
No, he has to, it wouldn't be until 6/26.
Yeah.
And then it would be effective on the, if it's approved, 27,
So-
fiscal 2027.
So has he gotten a note about that?
We did call him.
Okay.
Yep.
So this,
So let's talk about these separately.
yeah.
Okay.
So this one, I think we need to take a vote on approval or not, right?
Yep.
It doesn't have a place for us to actually sign it unless
I
we're
think the
supposed to
3
get all of our,
lines.
well, this says date.
I can write really small.
But can we see real small?
Are we in support of this one for recreation that's 8.9 acres on addresses?
Island Road.
Island, oh, Island, I thought you said Highland, and I thought, that wasn't Highland, it was Island. Island Road, yes. Is there a motion?
I'm sorry. Can you repeat that?
I motion to approve putting this into chapter land on Island
Oh,
Road.
God, that's not good.
8.9
For
acres for recreational purposes.
Second?
Any further discussion on this one? Hearing none, all vote. Aye?
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 We can go ahead and sign that.
Okay, where?
I don't know.
I-
You said there's plenty of
I
room.
think here, that's going to be my mission to redesign some of these
Right on
state
the top.
forms. So, sometimes they're so hard to follow, and just the way that they're written,
Right.
Well,
especially on our
There's so
exemptions.
many places to write when you voted, or when you sent things.
So disposition application, so we have to say granted all, right?
Yeah.
And today is
12th of March.
March 12th. January, February, March, that's 3. There you go. Grab it.
Sir?
Can I steal a piece?
You can. Actually, I was going to send it across, but you were talking.
It's like,
I probably shouldn't talk with it in my way till
Well-
I'm talking.
It's probably rude for all of us to have beef chewing gum, sorry. It's dry here,
It is.
It's
I like
really
that
good.
answer.
as is
Okay.
the subject matter.
Like I said, there's so much involved with this chapter land, it's really.
So the second one is one you're going to hold off on because it's,
That one's just 61A. He has to wait the period anyways, because he has to farm for two years, so it wouldn't be effective to 27, but you could approve it, he just has to, that's just what the 61A has to wait.
like,
why wouldn't we approve
We
it when
can't
he's,
approve it
when he's done 2
until-
years?
Because he's applying now, it wouldn't be effective until technically
So-
27.
Why wouldn't we approve it then?
You can approve it then.
Okay, let's
I'm
have him do
just-
that, because
do that.
he does not meet all the qualifications today, and I don't want to sign something that he's
Okay.
not qualified for
So
today.
this one,
like, things can change.
we
from
probably
time to
couldn't even, this was actually received in June of '24,
Okay,
so.
so in June of
So
26.
he applied again, so I will just bring it up next year.
And
He
ask
just
him
has to
fill
wait
out the form.
he just has to wait the 2-year period, so that's why we're stamping everything.
Yep,
Okay.
And you can get him to fill out the rest of the form.
Yeah.
And he has an incentive to do that, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay. The last department meeting that I had, the town manager had asked that every department head do department goals and procedures and policies. And I just wanted to give you a copy of what I submitted to her last week. I made up some of what we've accomplished in the assessing office.
Is there a third?
You can just keep that copy. But, so that just gives you an idea of what we've accomplished in the office.
So rather than us sitting here and reading through this today, we'll read it, and then if there's anything we want
Yeah,
potentially changed, we could do it next week. Is
I just wanted to
Yeah.
that
copy
okay?
you all on it.
that okay with the
Sounds
board?
good.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's fine. That's good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Give us more time.
And my last part is the goals for next month. Continuing inspections, continue to track the FY 2026 growth. Going to continue to schedule the abatement inspections, hopefully finalize the real estate abatements. I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks we can do that. And update the FY 2025 chapter land applications and vision. That's what we're trying to do now. And that's it for the goals.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Any further questions for Linda before she
good.
moves off? Off this subject. She's not moving off, right? Review and approve minutes.
Ready?
I've sent some minutes off to you folks. I believe that Sarah has sent some minutes off to you folks, us folks.
I read through all the minutes and didn't see anything, but I didn't print them.
Do you want a copy of the printed one to read through?
That's usually how it's done here. Technically,
Sarah, I still didn't get them.
they're there.
No, on the email? On the email? You sent them over an email?
First email.
Or the very, very first email?
First email that
Yeah,
went
the
to your
first email in the thread.
personal Gmail.
Oh, is that why I should be looking? Oh, God.
Oh, they went there by accident.
And then I got it forwarded to you, so it should be, it still should be in that chain.
You should have,
Okay, yeah,
I just, when I went to click.
well, maybe not, because if I responded with a reply, the forwards don't come. So
Right.
he may not have gotten the forward
I
forward.
didn't get it.
resend them.
And then you sent a reset and said, you told us, well, you got it 3 times. Just give
So
me,
let's,
I attached October twice.
okay, it's a good.
let's,
All's
I can
good.
resend those to you.
Yeah,
It sounds like you haven't been able to read them, so we can vote. on
I
it.
tried, I really did try.
I know you did.
I know, I know.
I didn't get to it.
has
until
everyone had a
today,
chance
so-
to read?
Imagine that, you work for a living, and you do all those other things, and you're a full-time mom.
Anyway, I didn't send
I
them
don't know how
out
you
until
do
this
it.
afternoon.
Bless your heart.
Has everyone had a chance to review the minutes of October 16th, the ones that were
Yes.
most in arrears on?
Yes.
Any feedback?
I was fine with the minutes as written.
I'm fine with it.
I hear a
Check it
motion.
off. Okay,
Motion to accept the minutes of October 16th as written.
so moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. February 5th.
5th, right. I have no
I read
problems
those
with
two, no problems with that.
that. I would move we accept the minutes of February 5th,
2025.
2025.
25?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jeez. Do we have any
Executive?
executive session
I do.
minutes? So what I've just discovered is that minutes from executive session, when they're approved, can be approved for release if there's nothing in there that's a personal nature, that would be executive session, person or site specific. So I don't know what the minutes say, but we may be able to release these for, approve these for release. Some of the ones that we've been collecting over the last 2 years,
Yep.
probably need to be accepted for release, but we haven't had a chance to go through that yet. We
This is
just
February.
discovered this was the process.
This is February 5th.
As long as they're no longer currently relevant.
No,
Okay.
they can be relevant. The question is, once
I think these are
once
okay.
an abatement has been approved, it's now public record, so we can even release
And we're
that.
just listing what we approved.
Exactly. The way these are written, we are not talking about any specific site.
Okay.
You'll see it in a second.
Yep, and then this is for the 19th of February.
Okay. Gonna do this first set. These are also look fine. Nothing personal here.
So the motion will have to be to approve for release, or not.
I motion to approve for release the minutes of February 5th, 2025's executive session, as written.
I have two. You get two, I don't know why.
Mr. Chairman, just a quick discussion before we vote. These minutes should include some of the reasoning that went along with it, along with the decision.
If anyone has that information, they can add it to the minutes.
I didn't even know, I can't even have a reference code here. So, I'm just thinking in the future, perhaps,
I agree,
okay,
that for the future,
yeah, we could give,
probably ought to document reasons on each decision that is made.
yeah. And the thing is, they all have control numbers too when they come in. At least the other abatements and exemption, all those requests had a control number. We could reference that against the control number, and then we would be even better. In other words, we could go back and,
Can we do that? Does that become personally identifiable down the road? Because it's supposed to not be, right?
If it's approved, it doesn't matter if it's personally identifiable because it's part of the public record.
Okay.
If it is denied, you need to keep that close to the vest. What you can do is, what do they call it when you cross off or black out the names and the locations?
Redact?
We can redact. Now, none of us are specialists in redacting. So
I can get you the magic marker.
we could. I know who has a magic marker, but never mind. Sorry.
I'm sorry.
None of us are experts at redacting, so if we have some that would be disapproved or disallowed, or even if it's deemed not granted, we'd have to redact that somehow. So we could approve them not for release in that case. If we approve them not for release, they become part of our record until somebody demands them, and then we can have them redacted and they can have them. Well, it's public record and open meetings, and we have to just be aware of what things we can and can't do. This has no reference to any individual, so I believe that is for the February 5th, as you said, for release. And we can
Yes.
then post those to the website. So, was there any further discussion on February 5th?
Nothing that I can add.
All in favor of releasing the, you said,
Yes.
yeah, okay.
Aye.
Approving these for release? Aye?
Aye?
Okay.
So this will, I don't have a copy of this electronically, this will have to go to Ellen
Yeah,
electronically.
yep.
We're in the similar situation on February 19th. We have no reference to anyone's specific site. I believe this summary of our minutes is, could be approved for release if that's what the board wants to do.
Is there any of the chances, Mr. Chairman, that if the ones that were denied would go to the ATB and it would stay active, still remain relevant?
I don't know how to tell what's going to the ATB, but we haven't listed them particularly here.
Right, right.
We haven't listed their site, so I think we're okay to release this. We probably need to document the reason for the denial separately somewhere. And keep that, we can approve it not for release, or we could, we need to approve it
I
not
mean,
for
it could be
release.
pretty, we have to keep a list of
Yep,
reasons granted, so.
We do have
Just do a spreadsheet. in
we have a
itself.
spreadsheet back at the office that has our, and we also write it on the,
right.
the,
The information's available,
it is available.
just not in a way that we could
Yeah.
make it public.
I wish there was a way that Robin could do the minutes on this without attending the meeting, and it's not recorded executive session, so I don't know
We
if there's a way.
are not going to record it.
If you have an Excel sheet that you're working on, or that Robin's working on, it's one more layer in the meeting, but honestly, I think there's time where you could just write the control number, rejected, denied, yes, no, and the reason.
Yeah,
And then, I don't think Robin has a lot to do after that.
yeah. We do,
'Cause
we
she
do
could
have
go
the
from
spreadsheet.
Right.
She could just go from that sheet and write it up
Right.
for you,
Yeah.
Perfect.
so you don't have to write it.
So we have a motion on the table to release,
Second?
right?
Did I motion?
I don't know. I'm
I didn't
asking.
motion.
You need a motion?
You got
Okay,
a motion.
I'll motion, sure. That I move that we take the February 19th meeting and approve the minutes
For release.
for release. Excuse me.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
So this is what will go out to the website up against the thing that says executive session. Having said that, in the past, when we've had executive sessions and they've been an adjunct to the existing open meeting, we haven't listed the executive session separately. So we have very few executive sessions that are sitting out there that are not yet filled. If you go back to the site, we just did February 19th and February 5th, which neither one of them has listed here in executive session.
They're listed there under, on that web.
On the
your-
website.
Yes, yes.
So we'll have to have another one posted. I don't know how let me talk to the town clerk's office about how that works, because I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay.
We do have executive session from January 22nd that we don't have. I think we may have already approved it,
Yeah,
think
I
we
was,
did in a previous meeting.
but we didn't approve it for
We didn't
release.
approve it for release.
So we'll have to bring that one back up for release.
okay.
Yeah. So,
If I go back to last year, we had an executive session on December 10th, which was separate. That was the follow-up to the executive session on December 2nd that was not held because we didn't have a quorum.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, I
Yeah.
remember that.
yeah.
Yep. So we'll have to look and see what we can find for those executive sessions that are already posted.
Okay.
The meetings that you held for the neighborhoods, we are supposed to do minutes for.
Which I've sent out.
I have had a chance to review it, but Mr. Rabbit has
Yes.
not.
So I'll make sure.
So if we hold off on that, that'd be great. Those are for the dates of, not posted, June 24th,
And October 15th.
October 15th
They were
was
po-
posted.
They both were posted.
June 24th, I see nothing out on the website for posting.
I
I
have
know.
sent it
I,
for the record.
it's not on here. So this is our
It was definitely. sent.
official, yeah.
Because
So
I
we-
have a Zoom.
I know. You must have done it because you got Zoom. So we need to just
That's
get
the
another
first-
copy of that, so we
Yeah.
can, I'll double check with the town clerk's office about exactly how we go
Might
about
not
it.
have known where to post it. Because was it a working group, was it a subcommittee?
But if it didn't
Does
get
it go under-
submitted to the town clerk, then it didn't get posted. So we're learning as we go.
It did get submitted.
It didn't get posted to the website by the
It might have been a question of where to post it, under which folder, but
Right. So
anyway,
with October 16th,
I did it 3-4 days in advance.
we have, I'm sure you
Sorry.
did. We have all of our open meetings minutes posted for 2024. We are as up to date as we can be on the open meetings for 2025. We have not yet received the minutes, the draft minutes on February 19th, for February 19th.
Oh, so October 2nd's already done? Or
Yep.
open? That's been, I'll take that. Okay.
So we're trying to do a couple things here. Make sure that the lists are updated, the ones out at the website, that we keep the list as short as possible here for what's still open to be done, and make sure that we fulfill the requirements of the open meeting law and public record law. So thank you. We're in pretty good shape. Yeah, that's good. I'm going any further than that. So we'll hold off on those two meetings until we've had a chance to talk to the town clerk. I'll make sure that these get posted to the town clerk tomorrow. Senior means tested exemption. You have a meeting again today. You want to give us an update on
Yeah,
where we are on?
we're skipping ahead, reviewing invoices and,
Oh, I missed it. You know, because I love that part. Sorry.
I have two. Actually, I have two invoices for CAI for the mapping. One is 3,000, the other is 3,400
And which maps were these?
for the CAI.
I know. What maps are they, what are they charging us for?
Oh, well, the $3,000 one is for the support renewal, and $3,400 one is the revision of the maps that we submitted for them to update.
Okay.
So, and that's a total of $6,400. One of them,
Is there an overlay that has neighborhoods?
I don't believe so. No.
Okay.
One of those was sent in November. It was not sent to assessing. It was sent, I believe, upstairs here. So it's
It's delinquent?
It's delinquent, so that one,
We should pay our bills.
yeah. But I just got that a couple weeks ago. I'd like to get those submitted.
Have we been taking votes on this stuff or just signing?
Oh, just sign it.
Our signature should be our vote, I guess. So a total of 6,400, is that what we said? Yep. Now my pen's not going to work. Yeah?
Might be one that's wrong in you.
I don't care.
Past due.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It was working this morning. Guess I used it all up.
Now, is this going to go to the warrant
No.
in terms of, not, in terms of past due bills?
No, it
We'll just
just,
pay it.
it just needs, I did call them and tell them what happened,
Okay.
so, yeah.
Because they said there was only, in the meeting, they
Copy
said
that.
maybe one. Maybe that was ours.
What do you mean?
Okay, they were discussing the warrants the other night, the
Oh, the warrant-
selectmen's meeting.
Go ahead.
And they said, we don't think we have any, but there may be one. And maybe that was the one.
No, it's, well, there's one for the exemption, there's a capital request for the neighborhoods.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was,
Is that what it is? I didn't catch the all the whole thing, what exactly it was.
I didn't hear the whole thing, but it was for, the stuff they're talking about that is for, on the capital plan for assessors is the neighborhood.
Is that what? Okay.
Yeah.
Second one's just the MLS quarterly
Can't hear Sarah.
renewal.
Sorry. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you weren't aiming your mic at your face.
I was just saying the stuff that was on the warrant was, for the capital plan, was for the neighborhood site.
Oh, you're right.
Stuff.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay, well,
So this was MLS,
Quarterly subscription.
we have a subscription for the town?
We do.
Thank God.
Well, we actually lost Sheila's,
I know.
so,
It was formerly in the name of our admin, and now it's in the name of the town.
no, it's in my name. I couldn't put it in the town because that got expired, so, but I did get the discount. I did get her discount.
It's in the name of our lead assessor.
Yes.
There you go.
I was glad they
Thank you.
honored that price.
Isn't it?
Any more?
I don't have any more invoices, but I have a lot of abatements. Motor
So we're
vehicle.
not there
That's
yet.
for
are we still
Oh,
talking about the means?
motor
Signing,
vehicle and base.
Zoning
Oh,
stuff.
what?
Wait, where are we in the agenda?
Signing.
Say
we're
zoning?
Signing.
Oh, signing. Okay. Just, I meant to ask you during your update, what happened with the request to do some Hero Act abatement thing? And I
Oh,
never got closure.
the email?
Uh-huh.
So I actually verified with Becky and also with the lawyer of the day on the HERO Act is we have to physically issue a bill because we get reimbursed from the state. And I have to submit that on the MDM1, the motor vehicle exemption. Every year I submit that. So what needs to be done is, it was requested that I remove them on the motor vehicle excise commitment when it comes from Kelly and Ryan, to take them off like I do with the exempt, the town exempt
Yeah, the tax
vehicles.
collector wanted to
Yes.
take it off the list.
Yes, the
Okay.
tax collector wanted me to remove those. I cannot do that because it needs to go through the physical process of an abatement. We actually,
So that we can be,
yeah, they need to physically get a bill so that.
so that
the-
we can get our money back.
so that the town can be reimbursed. And I have to take that information and put it in Gateway by April 30th, so that the town can get reimbursed for all of these bills. So it was an effort, the tax collector wanted to avoid some of the excess paperwork, but we have to have it documented.
Sure.
So I did verify that with Becky. I also had a call with the lawyer of the day today to verify that, and it is part of the process. We do need to follow the statute. So I cannot delete those
Right.
from the motor vehicle excise commitment.
Again, that's something we probably ought to document for future reference,
Yeah.
so that we don't get asked again
Yeah.
to do something that's not
Yeah.
correct.
There's a few things that I would like to start documenting because there's statutes that I need to follow, and
Good idea.
they have certain ways of procedures they have to follow, but I also have to follow statutes.
Yep.
And I can't,
Yep.
do things that I'm not supposed to do.
You say the term lawyer of the day?
Yeah, I
Is that the
did-
DOR? Is that what they
Yeah.
call it, lawyer of the day?
Yeah, they have two days that you can call from 10 to 12.
Oh,
I believe it's Wednesday, but they add another day. It might be Tuesday, either Tuesday or Thursday, but
Right.
Wednesday, it's every Wednesday. So it's great, you go on the website, it's a Zoom
okay.
call, and...
So what'd you get? Did you get Jim again?
No, I
Oh,
didn't get
okay.
Jim. I got another, and he was very informative, Ken Woodland.
Good.
He's the chief legal counsel. So.
The person we got with last time is about 100 years old. No, not really.
Yeah.
But literally in his probably 70s. But he's been around forever, and he knew everything off the top of his head.
Yeah.
It was amazing. Are you kidding? So, yeah.
Yeah, what
It's
I-
very, very helpful, and we need to take advantage of it when we can.
Yeah. No, and the nice thing is he does reference statutes. So when I call, I actually had 3 questions today, one of them being that, and also just deeds, and also the assessor responsibilities as in regards to billing too.
Yep.
So it's kind of nice, he references statutes which is, we have our law book downstairs, so we go right to that.
Now Becky can get to them anytime she wants.
Oh, can she?
Yeah, I've called her up and she goes, okay, let me go check this out. But maybe it was a lawyer of the day time, I don't know, but I know that Becky's come back and answered legal questions
Oh.
a few different times. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what she has, but she's a great resource. I call her.
Becky, she's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, she
Yeah.
is, she really is.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, I didn't mean to take you down. a
No,
path.
no.
Sorry.
But that was something that was weighing on my mind, and I wanted to make sure we had closure. We probably ought to document it.
Yep. I did send another email. I don't know if I don't know
After
if I
5
copied
o'clock?
you on that. No, but this was last week. So
No,
I don't know if I did. I might have, but if not, I'll forward you that.
thank you.
Did you want to go through these motor vehicle?
Yeah, we have several groups there. How-
Yes.
Well, tell us what we've got,
Okay.
group by group, I guess.
Yep. This is 11 abatements totaling $1,174, all motor vehicle excise. The first commitment's always the busiest.
Do we need to sign this in 3 still? Do you have the stamp?
If you could sign them, that would be great.
We don't have that stamp
I
yet.
do have the stamp. I could just do that if you want to just put okay, and I can stamp it.
Yeah, I do.
Okay,
I really do.
okay. Just date it, and we'll stamp it with our,
Thank you.
and we do have that documented from last. It actually should be on the minutes for the 19th, when they come out.
Let's put that stamp to good use.
It doesn't have separate, it's just going to be in here, so.
Do you need me to do anything else on these sheets? Do y'all want to look at them?
Nope.
Okay. Okay. I'll save
How many is
that.
this and how much?
This is, it looks like,
30 of them for $1,400?
yeah,
Yeah.
15, $1,494.92.
What did I say? I said 1,400. Do we have a total, what these will be? Did you write them down?
Oh, of all, no, I didn't put them all together. I
Okay, what was the
So
first one?
far,
I can add them up if you want.
$1,174.09.
How many cents? 9?
9. This one's $1,494.92.
Do you want me to add them up? I can.
Just gonna write them down and I'll.
This
add
next
them
one
later.
is another 30, and this is for $4,708.11, with a refund of $132.19.
I'm sorry, what was the refund?
I don't know. What's the refund for?
Oh, I think that's if they paid. We don't
Oh.
play that column.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little
We don't care
confusing.
about
It's
that
the
column.
munis,
Yes, that's for Munis. I mean, we do. We don't really care about that column.
Oh, I just stamped my gum
In the,
into the mic. Sorry, everybody. Okay, did you get that number?
I did.
Okay. The next one is for another 30.
Are we signing them?
We're going to stamp it.
We're gonna have the
Oh,
stamp.
that stamp's through, okay.
We, at the last meeting, no,
I didn't know if we'd received them.
was that the 19th?
Yes, that was
Yeah.
the 19th.
We voted
last
to
meeting.
allow.
Right, I
stamp
do that.
this.
I didn't know if we had the stamps yet.
How much was this one?
$4,910.57.
I totaled them, but I have a total of $16,063.18.
We'll see if that works.
But I-
16,000 what?
$16,063.18.
See if I get the same thing.
See if you get the same thing. Are you going to use a calculator or add it up in your head?
My head.
Okay, thank you. Here's another one. 1,436.
1436 what?
45.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And is that the last batch?
This is the last batch. It's
$2,000.
$2,339.04.
2339 and what?
And 4 cents.
Looks like Wally with a spork.
Yep,
Is that right?
yep.
So it has all our names on it, so do you just
We
redact Jack every time now?
What's that?
When Jack leaves us, are you just
Oh,
going to redact?
We're going to, yeah, we're going to have to get a new.
Nope.
What am I getting?
Next time we get, I got the number. Next time we get stamps, we'll get them individually
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do need to do that.
because our terms
Membership
end
will
differently.
change.
Yep. Yep.
Again, if anybody out there really wants to have this kind of excitement, you can sign up for, 50 signatures is all you need.
Yeah. Do they need 50?
You have to have 50.
It's good practice for when you're signing 50 times.
What? You
Oh, we have a
sign
stamp
50
for it.
different names.
Yeah. Now, the assessors will, if no one puts their name in, right?
Well,
Well,
then,
they'll-
somebody might get
they'll
elected.
appoint- They'll appoint somebody, wouldn't they?
Somebody might get elected.
If you would like to be written in, I
Yeah.
can do that for you.
Let's hope.
Oh, I already know the name I'm going to write in.
I asked Lou Franco
Good
tonight.
ideas, too.
I asked Lou Franco tonight.
Well,
He didn't have any interest.
He said,
he's probably watching, though.
he did mention
But he's
something
on
about
another
divorce
committee,
court
so-
and speed dial. Yes.
So we're all done with the
Billing. and-
excise abatements.
Yep.
And what's next?
The next is the senior means exemption.
Oh, you're done with signatures.
We're all done with signatures.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
We can jump forward to the thing that I was trying to jump forward to way too soon. Yes,
We had a meeting tonight.
it's actually, I called it 39, H3911, that was what it was in the House, but the real bill is 3033, 333.
Oh, is it?
Yep.
Okay. I've never heard it referred to as that.
I know.
Should I be referencing this?
In the future, we'll probably, I'll change the,
H, oh, you're going
it's
to,
not H, it's just,
333?
I don't have the nomenclature in front of me,
okay.
but it's 333.
Okay. So we designed actually a flyer. We went through that tonight, made some changes. And also, we have just an application for the summary sheet, so we met and went through that. We will have to schedule a time to vote on an income and asset limit
Yep.
that the Board of Assessors needs to vote on, and also whether or not we're going to use the average single-family home that was determined at the classification hearing, or if there's another value of a assessed value you'd like to determine, so that's another vote. But
You'll bring all that to us, though, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So do you want to
Do
do
you think they'll be
that?
ready for the next meeting or not? It's only next week.
Yeah.
I might just say,
Yeah.
it's coming up quickly, so.
We can do it, yeah, by the way, I did forget to put that on the upcoming meeting. We do have a meeting March 19th.
Yep, we'll talk about that when we schedule the meetings, yep.
So I don't know, do you want to discuss this on April 2nd, maybe? Or
Well,
April 19th?
your update was, you had a meeting today, you made a bunch of changes to the form, you made
Yep.
a bunch of changes to the cover sheet, you made a bunch of changes to the flyer. Great, thank you very much. I think that's really all I was hoping we could get. It's moving along quickly, I think, so
It
it
is.
feels good.
Yep.
And you have a tentative schedule? You said something around September 3rd this year?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's going to actually have to be the deadline that people submit these applications.
Yep.
Because it has to be, it's going to be determined, it's going to determine the tax rate. You're going to need the levy.
No,
You
we need
can't-
to know in time, and I think early September is a good idea. You probably ought to, when you document the process, you probably ought to document it for like the first Wednesday in September.
Yeah.
Because Mondays could be a holiday.
Yeah.
So I know that is a Wednesday, so if you just document as the first Wednesday in September for our target, then we're all set, because, people have a chance to get it in here on Tuesday or Wednesday, and if they don't get it by then, they've missed the boat.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's going to function, some of the things are going
Sorry.
to function the same as the other exemptions we
Sure.
have, with the exception of this having a different deadline, because this is going to determine, we need the levy amount, and we can't exceed 1% of the levy.
Right.
And
And it determines the tax, two different tax rates, one for them and one for the not, people who aren't.
well, what it's going to do, it's going to, the maximum exemption is going to be 2730, which is the circuit breaker.
That's the MAC it.
That's the max.
We might not go that high,
No.
depending upon how many applicants we have.
Exactly, so that's
But-
what we need.
But what that winds up doing is it sets a separate tax rate for these people, essentially, because they are now being taxed at a lower rate, and everybody else picks up the balance.
Yeah.
So I don't know if it'll have to look like two separate tax rates, but it's going to essentially be two different tax rates.
Well,
I'm sorry.
they will
No.
be,
I want to get back to you.
That's right.
they will not get taxed, they will not get taxed at the same amount. They'll get this
That's what I
almost
mean,
like
so they'll have a different
exemption.
tax rate.
And it'll be, the burden will go on
Correct.
to the other taxpayers.
Correct. So when you move tax, this is the overall tax levy, when you move the tax levy to somebody else, that they pick up the burden, now you essentially have two tax rates, because the people that get the benefit will have a different tax rate, essentially. And we may not call it that, but
Yeah, they're just going to get I don't know how that's going to work with well, we're still working on that, but,
That's a good question, because
So-
that came up.
well, they're going to get, it's an exemption, but I don't know if they're going to be taxed, whatever The tax
it's a
rate.
fixed amount exemption, not a percentage, so
it is.
the tax rate deal, it depends upon the value of the
The
house.
house,
yeah.
Oh, my God.
Right.
But there's two prerequisites.
Yep.
They must have been granted the circuit breaker income tax credit, and they also must have qualified for the elderly exemption, the
That's-
41.
41, yeah.
Right.
So
41.
those are yeah.
Which 41?
Well, we're calling it the elderly exemption. That's what
There's
we're
only-
calling it.
Well,
So,
since we've adopted 41D,
Yes.
it's 41D. Anyway,
I'm happy with whatever, but it's been pointed out that,
Yeah.
yeah. Go ahead, Linda, finish your part.
the
I'll
reason that
let
the
whatever.
legislature didn't specify 41C versus 41D is because we hadn't accepted 41D at the time.
well, it was specified as 41C, so
But we've now,
adopted
that.
40.
the town
Yeah.
has adopted 41D, which basically replaces 41C, so it's 41D now. So, and if somebody wants to change the rules, they can do that, but I don't know how you go do that.
You have
I
to
think it just
add-
automatically, we'll apply it that way and see what happens.
Okay.
I think they
Sorry,
will- No, that's-
Mr. Rabbit, you started to ask a question.
no,
I
no.
interrupted you, and I would
No,
like to
no,
know
I
what
want to
your
hear
question
what
was.
Linda's, I'm just going to fill in around whatever you had missed. Essentially, we came, with regard to the income, the discussion was, let's try and make it consistent with the circuit breaker, so let's not confuse everybody. So I owe you the new numbers.
For the circuit breaker,
And
so we're going to
officially-
follow the circuit breaker income. I don't know, depending upon when we meet, if you want to follow the same guidelines for the asset, whatever the asset limit is for the circuit breaker. We've looked at other towns. I think it was,
The average,
on the application, I put maximum assets cannot exceed 275. Now, by assets, that doesn't mean,
Doesn't include the home.
doesn't include their home, a second home it includes,
Doesn't include their first
First home
home
doesn't.
and then
and one vehicle?
one vehicle. Includes
Perfect.
second homes,
And if you have a collection of cars, we
Yeah.
we only count
they're part of
one.
your assets.
yep,
We only count one.
We only
we-
discount one.
yeah,
Yeah. That's correct.
so.
There's a couple of spelling things that Tom pointed out, and essentially, we
Well,
reaffirmed that the resident has to be 15 years here, because it's a town discretionary.
And just-
And the maximum return the person can get is $27.30
Which is,
per year,
the 2730 came from,
the circuit breaker.
there you go.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's what I'm trying to get you to say.
Oh, okay, I got that. And the maximum exclusion for the residents, you're going to come up with a number? The average? Where
Oh.
we had the discussion, we didn't want to use the Concord number, because it's like a,
Oh, you're talking about the assessed value of the home?
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
maximum excluding the
Yeah.
residents.
So we need to come up with the income, minimum, income, asset, and assessed value
first home.
for the first home, yeah.
Thank you.
The-
Great progress. I appreciate the work that you and the team have done. Well,
There's more.
There's more that we need to hear about today, or that she's just going to put in?
Just that, the question is, the circuit breaker, we're not going, they're recommending that if you don't have a circuit breaker and with your tax returns, we're going to not accept it.
Yeah.
But that was the
That's
other
what the
one.
law says, but
Yeah.
I'm going to research that.
That's what the
because
law says. I
when
have a
No,
copy
no,
of it
I can tell
someplace.
you what Becky's telling me, and I was able to allow to, when I did if I wrote this down,
She kept
if
sending
you
it
don't
back
have
to you to
a
read the
copy
law.
of the law, then don't read anything else to me. I just want to know what the
I'm
law
gonna-
says. And I
okay.
read the law, and it says,
in her email.
I'll ask her to
Well, we-
send that, because she allows them
But
to
we
essentially provide other documents.
But
That
Jack,
in
we have
support of-
this, we need to go by this.
yep,
This
Yep.
is the- So this
That's
is
the
what
one.
we need to go by.
The tax.
Yeah.
But they do allow alternatives, Becky was telling me. In either case.
Other
I'm-
towns
I'm
may
most-
have.
Yeah, I'm
Ours
most
doesn't.
concerned that I've got a lot of folks that
If
don't
you-
file taxes.
If
So,
you can get Becky.
bring it
to
next time.
Email that to all of us and that is the law, then I'll consider it.
Okay,
but it-
But for right now, we're going by this. what was-
right,
right. But we do have the right to override some of the stuff.
no.
Yeah, we actually do.
Now,
Okay.
I
Well,
wrote this-
Are we going to vote on it then?
Not yet, if you could,
Okay.
hold on, hold on. Was there anything else we missed? I think that's it. 41D, C, D.
He
tax
loves that
rate.
circuit breaker.
Hey, yeah, the challenge is going to be, how in the heck are we going to figure this out? Because we don't know when we're going to get all the requests in.
By September 3rd.
By September 3rd.
Yes.
Yeah.
We do know.
We
It's
do
by
know.
September.
Okay, by September, no,
If they come
we
in
don't know how
September 4th,
much.
they're too late.
We don't know how much.
We'll know then,
But we will.
and then we
we'll
can
get
figure
those
out what
numbers.
those,
We can type
whole-
them into a spreadsheet, hit sum, we got the amount.
the whole
Yeah.
point of getting it September 3rd is so we have time to figure it out.
Yeah.
We can't figure it out till we get them. So you can make all the assumptions in the world you want to make, but we have no data. So it's assumption that you're pulling out of thin air.
Or is it something we're worried about? So in either case, once we assign them, we have to come back and adjust everybody else's taxes to reflect the
We-
portion that we've taken out.
We don't.
We need,
We set a tax rate,
Yeah.
and their taxes are automatic.
And that is, that's already taken out.
The state,
And
never mind.
and the
Go
amount
ahead.
that's determined would be based on 1% of what the levy is. So
Or
whatever
less.
Or less.
Or
So
less,
however
yeah.
many applicants
The max of 1%.
there are, it's the maxes. It cannot exceed 1% of the tax
Right.
levy.
And the way the law is written is that we then take it out of everybody else.
But.
Right.
I know, but you do not,
But it's.
But if you're taking it can just go up to
But
$300,000.
it's based on the tax, like, we get the levy and then we assign the dollar rate. They're already included. That is already moved when we set the dollar rate at the tax hearing.
Correct.
So it just means everybody else is going to go up probably by pennies,
Well, that's,
Because it's
that was
such
the
a small
joke, the
amount.
cup of coffee.
okay?
But if you
Less than
have
a
a
cup of
pile of
coffee.
people that are doing, okay, I'm not going to worry about it.
we can't project the numbers until we have the numbers.
Yeah.
So the numbers are going to come in on September 3rd or sooner.
You can run, so you can be here for them.
Hey, you want me divorced? You want me divorced?
Okay.
It's,
But thank you for all the effort you've put into this.
Thank you, Sarah, you're very nice. I
Even though
so
we-
appreciate
Even though
you.
we argue like crazy.
That's okay, that's, we all have, this is a great team, and that's what you don't want everybody that all agrees together. You want people that say, yeah, we're going to figure this out, and we'll
I didn't
disagree.
bring the new letter for the deed.
Oh,
The next
I
one.
did read it. I read it already.
I have
Or is
a
that
copy.
it?
Copy of it, because
I have a
I
copy
have
of
it
the
up here
letter.
on the
I
computer.
forgot.
I get tired of printing out papers.
Okay. I know it's been shortened drastically.
It is what it is.
It reflects what the town council wants to be in there, will allow to be in there.
No.
And this is it. You want to see it again?
Yeah.
I've sent it off to you, you already.
Oh, I know you have, but do I
No, no, I
remember all
just,
of it?
nobody should be
Can you give
surprised
me,
by anything
can I
that's in
see a
there.
copy of it, because I wanted,
Very difficult interpreting deed, right.
What?
Who's got
do you have
it?
an extra copy of that?
I sent it, I can send
I
it to
know,
you
but a
again.
paper copy, just for right now, so I can look at it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Does that one say?
The Board of Assessors
No, no, I'm
reserves the
looking
right.
right.
Oh, what's the rev number, the date?
That's right. That's the one.
Okay. That's 3/7. Reserve the right to return incomprehensible deeds provided.
So, in all honesty, Linda doesn't think this is strong enough, but the town council says some of the things that she wants to say, we can't say.
Yeah.
Yes, and I did speak with the lawyer of the day about this today. I did bring up this issue.
Did or didn't?
I did.
Okay.
Because my big issue with this, and I've been reading deeds for 20 years, I got to say, I haven't had as many deed issues as I've had here, but on one of the issues I have, this property, or it's two properties that are referenced, the wrong amount of the acreage is automatically copied into this deed
Right.
as 27 acres, and there aren't 27 acres. And my issue is, I don't understand how an attorney can just copy that and not have a correction as to what the correct acreage is. Like, I think it's around 9 or whatever it is.
And as the town council explained to me, he's done deeds in the past, not today, but they were taught to take the old deed and just copy it over, because if you change anything from the old deed, then it takes a much more in-depth analysis. Having said that, it isn't right if the old deed was wrong, because it will never get corrected. But we run into a situation where the deed no longer reflects what the actual, who the ownership of the lands are. Did you have that copy?
Oh,
Thank you.
there you go.
Well,
And what this does is it gives us an ability to send back to the person who submitted the deed and say, I don't know what to do. If you want, I can just start taxing you
Or you can try and get it fixed.
and try to get it fixed.
yeah,
And if they don't fix it,
That's what
we
we
then
tax.
have, well, then we tax based upon how we understand it, and somebody is not going to be happy,
no.
but they'll come back.
Well, what Ken Woodward, Chief Legal Counsel, had stated today was that the taxpayer, we can send this letter to the taxpayer, and there's really nothing,
We don't have any
we
teeth.
We
no.
can't really do anything. It's really should be on the taxpayer because, you know,
So
It's really-
we understand that.
it's their deed. But what he did say was that, as far as with us, because, I mean, we're worried about liability, putting it in the wrong owner's name or having it wrong. He said, well, there's really nothing you can do because that's what we have abatements for and
So
and
that's-
all this. And the taxpayer should be looking at their property record card and their bill. But we hope that people come in, like I've had a few people come into the office, and I'm encouraging them to bring plans. I still am waiting for this lawyer to get back to me on this Sunset Lane. I haven't been able to resolve that. I am going to send another letter to him. But unfortunately,
We don't,
Nope.
there are no teeth in any laws
No.
for us to do anything. We
No.
can ask them to fix it, and if they don't fix it, we'll interpret it the way we want, and they can come back and tell us it's wrong. And they can show us how it's wrong and prove that it's wrong.
Yeah.
So once they've done that, they could take us into land court, oh, good, now we can get the deed straightened out.
Yay.
But we have no other way to, we have
No.
no other leverage, so
Just-
let's send this letter, see what happens, and correct as we can.
Just
And we're
add
gonna start
couple
a
of
log.
Acres to the property.
a log,
Backs it
and
back
I
to
already
that.
notified
Yeah.
Izzy and Mylene that we're starting a log, we're going to send this letter, we're going to have a date, and we're going to have the names, and I'll copy them on it so that when the homeowner
Comes in screaming.
comes in screaming, you know,
Goes to them.
what do you want us to do? And I'm not talking about the simple deed. There's like no way to figure out, there's no parcel ID, there's no address. It's very difficult to determine what it is, and by the fact that it's got 27 acres, and I'm looking at my map trying to figure out, okay.
And you can only find 22.
And I can, and I can find like 9. It's just, I just
Right.
can't believe that,
Right,
Is that a
but,
real example?
yes.
yeah, it is. It's,
Wow.
There's all sorts of land misdeeds.
yeah. But
I think
I'm,
there's a guy at a Super Bowl talking about that.
was it?
20 acres and a mule.
That's right. My mule died.
All right, so are we good?
So we have the deed letter, if everybody is happy with that, based upon what we got feedback from the town council, do we need to vote on that being the letter?
I would move that we accept this letter as our policy and that we move ahead with it as quickly as we can.
Yeah, it's our deed letter. I second that.
Sarah, didn't know if you had reservations, I was. Any further discussion? Hearing none? All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. You have a deed letter.
I know it's not what you wanted, but that's government.
Well, it's something.
You want to see the ones she wanted?
I have a pretty good idea. Like, I know what I would write, so.
Well, exactly, she wrote that.
I've been looking at this for hours.
I'll be a real estate attorney in my next lifetime.
Okay. Do we skip over some stuff here?
Assessor website is next.
Well, no, do we,
Oh,
neighborhood site in?
we did.
Yeah, skip that.
We,
I'm not sure there's much
nothing
more
more,
for us to
right?
talk about, other than we know that there's a plan in place, that we are going to be getting money planned into the capital plan. 27,500 right now is the number that is intended for use to help start this, correcting the neighborhood situation that the state has mandated we fix. That basically says we have like 3 years. So if you say 27.5, you get 55, you get about $82,000 over the next 3 years to try to fix it. That should suffice, unless we run into something that is just horrendous. And at which point we would have to redefine what the capital plan requirement would be. You're trying to get bids on getting this work done with limited success.
our vision wouldn't give us a,
Well,
Yeah.
it's not really their primary
no,
We
work.
talked about that last meeting.
Right, right.
yeah, but,
So I think we could probably take this one off.
Okay.
for future,
Until we have something more to
Yeah.
report. Maybe until the capital plan is voted on.
I am going to be getting one from MFS.
yes.
Yeah.
Great.
I have to actually ask Julie because he had reached out to me,
Good.
Yeah.
Good.
so,
Let's write a really tight contract.
Yeah.
With receivables
yeah,
Yeah.
and time stamps.
yeah.
Okay. We are down to assessor website. You are in the process of trying to revise the how to read your,
Oh, yeah, there's some numbers for how to read your vision card that, like, I don't have access to those without you. So I sent another time. You can get back to me and let me know.
Okay.
And then you'll have a copy of that document. You can put it in your files. I'll highlight the things that need to be updated every year, and it'll take you probably 10 minutes.
Yeah.
right? So that way
So we'll have to work out a time.
the how to read will always be up to date.
I did actually notice that the LA 15 needs to be added to that website, so I'm going to actually give Kara a copy of that. I think 24 and 25 is not updated on the website for the LA 15. I did see that the other day.
Okay.
So,
And for those people at home, the LA 15 is?
that's actually when we submit the LA 4, it actually breaks down the categories, the 101s.
Which are the different housing
Yeah.
types.
Yep,
Okay.
the different land use. It gives it like a percentage too.
Thank you.
Yep.
I do have, if it's okay, Linda,
Yes.
I'll come back and talk to you in your office about, well, you and I have had some back and forth with regard to what gets posted where, and there's a couple things like, how come, and you have no control, but how come our conference didn't get put in the town news kind of thing? And
Yeah, I don't know, I requested that, I'm not.
yeah, I don't know.
It was
I don't know.
put, I did ask Kara to, I believe that's on our website.
Is it, it could have, I've
Yeah.
not gone back to that in a couple weeks. I just got back,
Yeah.
a few days ago, so,
I think that
You'll catch
the
up.
difficulty is it's hard to find things on that website.
yeah.
So that's one thing that,
It'll get better. I think Sarah said it best. It's never done.
It's never going to
It's
be.
never done.
Right.
Never done.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Tax billing issue?
Oh, no.
How would you like to,
We'd like to talk about it.
Yeah. I guess we'll just,
well, we had the discussion at one point that it was where was the cutoff, and is it really just the upload versus the create the file? It feels like, in some situations, you're being asked to go more deeply into Munis. And I don't know how much you want to,
well, I think the expectation is that the admin uploads the file,
Who's admin?
meaning Robin.
Oh, okay.
My issue is that it should be taken to one point by the assessor. If it's uploaded, it needs to stop at that point. It shouldn't go any further. I'm just questioning things because I've been asked to go for training for receivables and payment posting, which kind of is beyond.
well, payment.
And I think
posting.
maybe it's just to understand the whole process, but
If you're not using it, you got to forget it as soon as, give yourself 2 weeks and everything you learned.
well, I just think that hopefully we can iron this out, but
Yeah.
I know that, and I did actually question the lawyer of the day today, and he did reference this statute. I printed it out so you could see it. It just says that the assessor shouldn't be doing, shouldn't be involved in the collecting and the office of the taxpayer.
Right.
Shouldn't be doing those duties, so.
Right.
I know some towns maybe do that, but it isn't recommended, and I have a statute here that's,
Well,
We-
we have an
but-
assessing group and we have a tax.
yeah.
group.
But
And we talked about the fact that in some towns, they're so small
Yeah.
that they can't separate the two.
yeah,
They don't have enough head count to be able to do separate
Yeah. It's the
responsibilities.
statute 24.
So there'll
Yeah.
never be legislation
Right,
that tells people that they have to do here.
Yeah.
I read this the last time this came
We
up.
did too, yeah.
Yeah.
This-
So,
I can't believe we keep
but
rehashing this.
I just think to
Yeah, these are the same
expect
ones.
Robin to do it, and she's union, so, I mean,
Well,
I don't know.
it's in her job description includes something that says assist with billing. I don't know what that means.
Well-
But if that's the case, then the town manager through the finance director can ask Robin to help with the billing. They can't ask Linda,
Yeah.
not in her contract.
That's the issue is, and it's not recommended by the Department of Revenue, but,
Conflicts.
so, we need, I guess, just some clarity on that.
So you were going to do some research for me, you haven't had a chance to do that yet on,
Oh, no, and I'm
Okay.
going to ask you about that,
thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
We're, right.
Yeah, so,
Jack, anything else on that one?
No, I think we've made the point,
We've put-
pile of times, that it doesn't belong over here. And we've cited all this stuff, so why does it keep coming back?
well, I do want to say that my concern is that I know other towns that have Munis Cloud, and they had a lot of issues last year, and thankfully, we had Randy Mercier, who's a Munis expert,
Right?
help with the billing last year.
And now?
I think the town only wants to utilize him for this upcoming billing cycle in December, but my concern is that he provides assistance to other towns, and I think having him on board would be an asset. I know we need a new bridge, but I don't really feel confident that this whole issue with Munis is going to go away just because we don't have the server issue anymore, that we're going to cloud, because a lot of other
It's just,
towns.
if it's on the cloud, it means it's on somebody else's
Yeah.
server, but it's the same.
It's the same issues, and
And Jack, you asked why this is coming up again. It's because our finance director has decided that that's how he wants it done. And our town manager has said, yeah, do it that way. That's why it's coming
Our
up again.
current town manager?
Yeah.
Yes. and
Okay.
So the finance director didn't accept what was decided at our previous meeting under our interim town manager.
Well, I'm not sure we decided
Or
anything.
we
We decided to
said-
put it off until,
Yeah. Put it off until we've uploaded to the cloud or whatever.
and the expectation was that the
be
cloud
the
would make
handoff.
this a
Right.
simpler process. And as far as we can tell so far, it's probably not.
Yes, and so it's, again, being pushed from the tax collector, who previously had this assignment, to the assessor's office. And it is, may I say this, of the opinion of this board that, and this law here, statute, that says it shouldn't be to do anything other than the handoff.
Yeah. That was my interpretation.
so I guess the question is, the handoff, is the handoff just as we've been getting the file and emailing it? Or if it's uploading it, that it should stop there? And I did ask Rena today, and she said, Linda, you should not be doing any more than handing off the file. And she has done this 30 years. but-
And that was expressed by, who was at that meeting? It was the president of the assessors in the state?
Yes.
Yeah, Ron.
Ron came in with it.
And, yeah, he was,
I don't know what else
we have
we
the date
could
of that
do
meeting?
to
Yep.
express that information.
that?
I mean, we
August-
had
oh, October
authorities in the room.
Let's send it over to Jen. Not that
So I'm
she's got
expressing
the
it again.
time. Yeah, she's still trying to figure out.
Okay,
that's,
just as things arise.
Yeah,
Let us
we'll-
know what they are.
Yep.
And if we think they are way past the line, then we will push back. There's not much more we can do than that, other than right now, Like the request that you had on taking the excise bills out,
yeah.
which was the wrong request that we got from the town tax collector. Luckily, you were able to resist that and clarify why that should not happen, because it was not in the best interests of the town.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, we will try to we'll try to make it clear, express where things are happening that are not in the best interests of the town.
Well, the other thing too is I'm being asked to recommit or abate things. If it's not wrong in our camera system, if there's nothing wrong with the assessed value, I can't abate it. And in one instance, it was just a matter of applying a credit on a prelim bill and issuing it to the actual, because the property had been split. So, but I look in my camera system, it's correct, so
Yeah.
it's nothing that, I can't go into Munis and make that
If you
adjustment.
could, you'd be
just
writing
sounds like-
checks to all your friends.
It just sounds like
They'd be-
passing a munis
We've already
top
had that
potato
happen,
around,
right?
Yeah.
because people don't want to deal with
But
it.
we're not supposed to go into Munis and, like, I shouldn't be going in and making credits like that. And I had an hour conversation with this consultant, and he said, Linda, this should automatically be done. This isn't the assessor's responsibility. It's done.
Right.
The tax collector needs to apply that credit. So I don't know if there's something in Munis, a report or something that can be generated by their department that shows, oh, okay, you've got this credit, and at that point, maybe this needs to be moved to the other actual bill, but we do have parcels that dissolve, and then we split parcels all the time, so this is a regular thing that's going to happen.
So if I could ask, Mr. Chairman, you've had conversations with Jen directly in this regard? Okay, and you explained it all to her. Then perhaps the board might take the opportunity, or Mr. Chairman might take the opportunity to talk to Jen about the implications and all the data that would say we should be going the other direction?
I've had a conversation,
Okay.
and maybe it's time for the board to have a position, but
I wanted to suggest that this Mr. Woodward that I spoke with today, he said if there was an issue, he would be more than happy to schedule a time to have everybody involved, and he could discuss this. So
Okay.
maybe we can schedule something.
I would support that.
Yeah, that's a DOR issue no matter what.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And,
Well, I think it's going to keep coming, so.
yeah, he suggested that, and then Rena suggested maybe to reach out to Chris Wilcox, who's also with the DOR. But this, like I said, Mr. Woodward had said, if you want to send me an email and you need me to be involved in this discussion, I will gladly do that. But
That's news. Thank you.
That's the good news.
yep.
And it's, no one's at fault here. It's just we're trying to
No,
straighten
no.
out a system and look at it from as many angles to make sure we can protect the town.
Well, there's a lot of new people.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just, what
I would.
follow what I'm supposed to be doing as far as with the statutes when it comes to abatements and all that, and, what, as an assessor, where my responsibilities are, and
Yeah.
follow the laws. That's,
Mr. Chairman, if I might move
Please.
that we have that discussion with the lawyer and that something be set up to get all parties involved, and all parties, and let's hear what the lawyer from the DOR is telling us. And then we can all ask questions, we can all hear the same answers, and move on, And if it's a function of, oh, guess what, the assessors have to do it, we're going to look around and say, okay,
yeah.
send one of your people over here, because we're going to have to, they'll become honorary assessors.
So
Shouldn't suggest that, but we need resources if that's the case.
I think there
Make the
might be some confusion.
proposal and then,
Okay, yeah, I propose that we have a joint meeting with the DOR lawyer, the assessing board, and of course, including your part of the board, as well as the accounting organization, the town of Lunenburg.
finance director
Right.
and the town manager.
Chair, right.
That's what you're suggesting.
I guess, I accept those. Accept
Okay.
that correction.
I want to make sure that's what you,
Yeah, thank you.
so I don't know if we need to make a motion. I think we can just ask Linda to try to set something up.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to mention too is I think, as far as like with a commitment, I think there might be some confusion about that. When I make my commitment, I physically make that paper with the totals, and I get the totals from Vision, and I have to match what's obviously submitted on the LA4.
Yeah.
And, you know, when the file is presented, we do have from Vision what our total is. So when I do my commitment, I base my commitment on the totals
Sure.
that I have. And then once it goes into the billing, you know, there's, we need, obviously, it needs to match what was submitted to Gateway. So by their definition of commitment is probably different than mine. Mine is getting the numbers that I submit, the numbers I need you to prove, and I make up a commitment, meaning type those numbers in, you sign off on it.
Right.
So
And then they deal with it inside Munis.
in Munis, yeah, but as far as, and then their idea of commitment is the final process when, you know, the numbers of what we're going to obviously collect, you know, but.
Mr. Chairman, perhaps we invite Vision to participate in this conversation too? Because they come, you're receiving advice from.
No,
what's-
It's just going to muddy the waters,
it just,
Okay.
so,
in my opinion.
No, that's fine.
so there's like two totals. There's a total of, obviously, we've got to match what's in LA4, and our camera has to match what we submitted to DOR. And then there's the total of when the file is done, the billing is done, that's what we need to collect, so. There's two different numbers that we're actually looking at. So ours is CAMA, theirs is, you know,
Munis. But it
Munis.
should be the same number,
Well,
yes?
it will be,
It
it's
should be
obviously, it
reconciled.
should be
Should be able to
reconciled.
reconcile.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it should reconcile.
Mr. Chairman,
It will reconcile.
if I could, it's not necessarily fair to ask an employee to address a major operational issue specific to the fact that you're an employee of the town, and the town manager oversees your activities as well. We have a concern with regard to the board, and so in terms of setting this meeting up, Brian, I think it's
Where
on
you
you.
going?
It's on you. Set this thing
Just turn
up.
it.
Don't cause Linda to get caught up in
Oh,
the,
you think she's.
Oh,
put in the
I see what you're asking.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know
Yeah.
where you were
We should
going.
set it up.
yeah.
Okay.
Well,
That's okay.
I think we're going to have more meetings on this, and I think, like I said, I think it probably needs to determine where the cutoff is. So there'll probably be more clarification, because like I said, I think that's really the issue, is where's the cutoff? We get the data from Vision, from our CAMA file. I submit it to DOR. We have, you know, our numbers there. Then that file is taken, normally we email it to the tax collector. It goes into Munis. And when everything's done, you know,
Yeah.
it reconciles. But I verify before I give that file. I have to match.
Right.
I have, obviously.
And honestly, I appreciate you bringing it forward to us, as this is a major system hiccup, or a break point, or an opening
Yeah.
to cause an error. So I appreciate you coming forward.
Yeah, well, I wanted to mention one other thing. We do definitely have a bridging issue. So the way that the data goes over isn't, we had duplicate parcel IDs.
Yep.
So there's more digits in the Vision parcel than in Munis. So those are issues that need to be resolved. And we have asked we asked Randy Mercier if there's any way we could reduce the number of digits in our parcel ID, because I guess Leominster has really shortened theirs, but he has indicated that it affects the history. So you need to have the
Okay.
history in Munis. So I don't think there's any way we can shorten the parcel ID, but it is, for us, when we look stuff up, there's so many digits, it's easier for us to look it up by address.
You'd have to have a big
Homeowner
pointer
name.
up for each one of them.
So the parcel ID is really a big thing, but.
Yeah. fewer errors are going to be generated as a result of shortening it up. And it'll go faster, too. So it's an efficiency issue, it's a quality issue, it's an easy-use issue, and we just need to figure out how to make it go from point A to point B. And, you look at every manufacturer in the world, they all have all sorts of pointers. This product is a widget, but for these guys, it's a widget plus something else and something else, but they use a core number.
Yeah,
And that core number tries to keep it as small as they possibly can get it.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, I can't solve it here.
Yeah, I don't,
What I can do is, I'll try to set up the meeting. You need to give me the name and contact information for the attorney that volunteered his time. Even though I know it's not volunteer, he's getting paid, but he's
Yeah.
volunteered his time.
And more than
He's
we
volunteered
are.
his paid time.
He's volunteered his paid time.
Yeah.
That's
to-
how
to work
important it
with
is.
us and be
That's
clear.
nice.
Yeah.
That's nice.
And I'll try to arrange something
yeah.
for the group of people we just mentioned. Thank you.
Billing information. Overlay.
Oh, 2026 overlay.
I have that.
I just want to point out that we haven't voted on the overlay yet.
That's correct. It was represented. I think,
We've
like-
had some
This is current for
people who have indicated that they thought we voted, but we haven't voted.
this,
I think that happened.
That's
And then we agreed to a
not
number also.
so,
It's occurred multiple times in multiple meetings.
so this is the amount, this is broken down by the year, this is for '25. This is current, our exemptions have are currently total $128,967.49.
We just added whatever the number was. Right?
So,
Oh, that 8,700 I mentioned earlier?
Yep.
Yeah.
but this isn't what we actually chose to raise. We chose to raise 75,000 last year.
Nope.
No?
We asked for 120.
We asked for 120.
We were told it was
Sorry.
moved to 127. And then it became 202. And I don't know how that happened. And with Carter not here, I don't know how it happened, and I
It
don't know
was
how to
never
find
told
out.
us. Yeah, we never heard about it.
But anyway, it became 202. We've spent 128.9, plus another 8.
Because we had those things in the ATB.
Some of them were ATB.
Yeah.
We also released 25,000.
Yep. That's
So
listed there.
the balance for 2025 is 48,000. If we just took 8,000 off there, it's about 40,000. We already had an existing balance. When you add in the existing balance to that,
48.
to the 48, we were at 795 in the overlay account. There was only one overlay account. There's not an annual overlay account, there's
There's
one
just one
overlay.
overlay.
Yep.
Right.
So that 795, which is now 787, because we just took out 8.
Oh, yes, we just did.
We just took out 8.
With the.
And we will
motor
have
vehicle.
more, 13 more that we will be discussing tonight, so,
We have more.
so that, we don't know the total.
We don't know what the new number's going to be when we're
Yeah.
finally done. Right. So we have plenty of money set aside in the overlay account.
Yeah.
We have enough money in this year's request. And the question is, what do we expect next year? Now, having said that, before we go too far, we had 440 a couple of years ago. We had about 44 last year. We have 38,
Seven.
39, 37 this
37.
year. So I think the norm is somewhere around 40, as opposed to that 40 abatement request applications. So we need to be able to make sure that we have enough money here to support those abatement applications. We also probably need to make sure we have enough money for some of our other exemptions that are new.
Yes.
We've increased our exemption liability, I'll call it. It's not really liability, but our exemption possibility, because we've lowered the age.
Right.
We've increased the amounts
The
of
asset,
income.
yep.
We've increased the assets and income. So there's a possibility that we may be expecting more use of this account for next year. So the question is, how much do we think is enough? Knowing that we have some in our savings account that we could work some down if we had to.
I mean, when I look at 2020, 2021, 2022, those are all between, 125 and 140.
Yep,
Yeah.
and
Well, even if we increase 10%
from,
from the high number in 2021, 140, that's what? 10% of 140,000. This shouldn't be that hard.
it's 14 more,
14 more.
154.
154.
Having said that, we are at, if we had 202 and we've released 25,
Yeah.
that means we're really at 170, 177. We spent 128, we're going to spend more
Where do you
tonight.
get 177 there?
Take,
Because I add 128 and 25, and I get 154.
you take 202 less the 25 released.
Yeah, but I'm looking and we have the exemption and abatement amount. of
So I know.
128.
What,
And then I'm
that was,
adding
I was,
25.
but we, the number that was that wound up being in there for the overlay for this year
Yeah,
was 202.8.
right. Agree.
We
Oh, so you're
released
saying-
25 of
So you're saying
that.
we had 175.
So we had 175
Gotcha.
to spend. We've spent 129.
Yep.
Plus another 8, so 137. So that means we still have 50, which is what we thought we
Yeah,
had for this year.
yep.
So if we were to do the 177-ish again, and we expect some more exemption
200.
usage of the overlay account, I'll call it,
Yeah,
then maybe we're looking at a number that's bigger than the history. And the history, remember, was the higher eligibility age, the lower assessed value, assets, the lower income. So we've done a bunch of things
Yeah.
to clean up, thank you, Mr. Rabbit, our exemptions
Yeah.
offerings, I'll call them offerings. So it just means we may use more than we've historically used. So it feels to me like, and I would make the case that we could do somewhere between 175 and 200 and not feel bad about it.
Right.
yeah. I think that's correct.
Mr. Chairman, where did the 20, how come the 20 showed up? What's that? Exemption abatements, the 20,000?
Oh, in 2024?
Oh, yeah, no.
Where did that come from?
I don't know.
That's way out of line with anything we've ever
Yeah.
done.
I noticed that, too. I don't know.
This was a report that we got from the financial director.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's wrong.
I can't create the report for him. I don't know where that number came from.
and there's no explanation of it in this
Right.
report either.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Let's, even if we were to assume that we've slipped a digit,
Oh, that's a possibility.
and it was $200,000, that means we still had more money
We still had
raised.
313 left.
Right. We still have 213
I mean-
added to this, so our 795 would be 695. So all those numbers still say, I care about that 20, I don't care about that 20.
But you can certainly ask.
Well,
Are they using that number
I don't know
in all the calculations they went over with the selectmen last night?
what that is.
What the number they're using for us is this number that was proposed, not by us,
Right.
and by statute, we're supposed to propose it.
Yeah,
We're the
we're
only
gonna approve it.
people
We
who
We get,
propose
we
and
get to,
approve
we
it.
get to define the overlay amount.
Yep.
And that's,
And all the rest of it is noise.
yeah,
So honestly,
doesn't matter what,
I don't care.
yeah,
Honest.
yeah.
Honestly, I don't care. So I made a case for somewhere between 175 and 200. I'm happy to hear conversation around that or some other numbers. But I don't want to just continue to go down a rat hole.
Yeah, well, according to this, there's still approximately 787 $787,000 in our overlay. And we've added things. I'm comfortable with doing 175. And I think even if we go over, there's still that amount in the overlay.
You have a different
And-
number you, oh, go ahead.
And then there's money to go back that's not free cash.
Well, but it could be,
It could
it
be-
needs to be part of the operations.
It can be part of the operational budget.
Yep. I don't want to be greedy, I'll call
No,
it greedy.
I don't want to take more
and-
than we
and put
need.
too much in there because I don't think we're going to need quite that much.
I don't think we're going to need $250,000. I mean, except for that really bizarre year,
Yeah, which,
bizarre is an understatement, we're not, I don't think we're going to use that much. I think it's, and we have an overlay for the case when we're wrong. And it's a sizable number.
oh, yeah. They were scrambling last night for $30,000. I mean, they were dying for it.
Yeah.
So,
What they were
Honestly-
talking about last night was like $250,000. I don't think we need
No, I don't
$250,000.
think so
And I think we ought to offer to the town that we will put a smaller number in there because we can absorb, if we're wrong, we can absorb it pretty readily out of the existing overlay.
And then the next year, we deal with, if we need to, we can deal with that new
Well,
number.
and then we'll have at least 1 year under the new regime of
Exemptions,
well,
appropriate asset limits, exemptions, COLAs, et cetera.
Yes.
the only thing, I think, go along with the 175. If it's a problem, and we can always point to the fact that you told us it was only $20,000 last time. So what the heck is going?
Oh, in 2024, you mean?
Yeah,
I
maybe
don't
we should ask this question, why is this so off? And perhaps it's an oversight, a mistake, and someone's just not looking at, trying to read the lines?
I don't want to guess about it,
Yeah.
but we have
meeting next week, right?
other data that actually makes sense, so
Yeah.
let's just go like that. And hide 2024.
well, we're going to hide 23 as well.
Well, you
Yeah.
know,
Yeah. So when do we
I
have,
can fold my paper in multiple ways, look at that.
oh, they've got to have it ready for next week, because
Yes.
they're going to the warrant.
Sure.
I-
We need to
so
decide
I make
a
a
number.
motion that our overlay is $175,000.
Second.
Just to be clear, I think that's a very safe number. We may go over it, but we wouldn't go over it significantly. And based upon at least the history that we are comfortable with, that I think puts us in a pretty good position, so, okay. Any other comment on 175
None?
for our overlay request, which goes into the budget?
Does that
will
fit
change.
in with what we have to put in percentage-wise for DOR? Like if there was a,
The 5-year
Yeah.
average.
No, because the 5-year average includes the,
Yeah.
oh, so it's going to be
$1.6
weird
million.
anyway.
It's skewed because of the 20.
that's, you can't,
Well, and we have this $20,000 number, but I just didn't bring it down.
which,
See, I'm looking at it again.
That number grew a
Sorry.
little bit, too. 2023, that number grew.
Did we
Well, we had some
start out with 202?
ATB
Is that what-
settled.
Oh,
We
not
started
that
out
many,
with
you think?
that.
It didn't,
Yeah,
I think it was like
Well, this was
138 or something.
last year,
might have been.
and they're saying that we requested
don't
this.
ask.
We had some ATB settlements that were, so we have one account, but the tax collector has to, the finance director has to look at it in terms of how much money we set aside for a specific year. So he has to still put it into a year.
Yeah,
So I believe that's, the reason that number in 2023 changed was because we had some ATB settlements.
Okay.
So it won't stay fixed until we no longer have anything open at ATB for those years.
yeah, so that makes sense.
Okay.
We don't have very much in front of ATB today
One case,
that we know of. We've asked the question 16 ways to Sunday,
yeah.
and we've gotten one case, so we think it's one case.
And I didn't get, it's funny how you didn't really get notified of that. It kind of came in the mail. I sort of thought we had done, I thought they were resolved.
Well,
So,
the communication between the ATB and our office is virtually non-existent. I hate to say that in a public forum, but having said that, the ATB cases come sometimes as a surprise, as that one did. Last year, there was one that came, and I had no idea we had something coming up, and all of a sudden it was like, there, where'd it come from? I don't know, it's been sitting in front of the ATB for some
Aren't
time.
they backed up a year and a half or
No,
something like
not
that?
anymore.
Not
No,
anymore?
That's old.
that's
Old
all
data.
COVID.
Get over that one, move on.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
I
We're
will
new
say-
ATB
It's
now.
hard
I
keeping up.
think they're like 4 to 6 months now.
Okay.
I will say I was kind of concerned about 5 abatements that I won't name because we're not in executive session. But Denise and I did inspect the properties, and hopefully we resolve the issues. We'll discuss that in executive session. But that was my only concern that I did have that could possibly be
New ATB.
new ATB cases. Yeah,
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
there were 5 related.
related,
Okay.
yeah. But
We think it may be resolved?
I'm hoping, yes.
We can hope that it's
Yeah.
resolved. Okay.
We did a very thorough
So-
inspection.
I think we have a motion.
The motion is 175. Any other discussion on 175 for the overlay for this coming year? Hearing
I would
none?
second.
You already seconded.
You already seconded.
Otherwise, we wouldn't be discussing it. All in favor? Aye. This is, if you'd like a roll call, we can do a roll call.
No, there's no, I think,
We can do it
was
without a roll call.
unanimous.
It's unanimous.
yeah.
175. Do we need to write something up to the finance director?
An email? Or a
That'll be
letter.
enough?
I can.
You want to do it
ask
from you? Just tell him what format he wants it in.
them. Okay.
You might also ask the question whether.
If it needs to come from you,
20,000.
I'll let you know, but I'll tell him that we
Yeah.
decided upon that, and if he wants a formalized letter.
It'll be in the minutes, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you. Wow. Clause 41 and 17, assets income level adjustment exemption warrant. It's still in front of the town council. I've heard nothing back. I know that he's making some adjustments because he wanted to make sure it's clear that we are resetting the base and applying COLA,
Right.
which I had not thought of as we were writing it. What we intended to do, but we never really said that. So he's rewriting it somewhat so that it goes, here's the new base, and here's the COLA, and here's what we start off the year as.
Great,
Thank you.
that's what we want town council to do.
Right. That was our intention.
Right.
So,
Now, question, did they make a decision
Who?
last night, the Board of Selectmen, in
Sorry.
terms of moving the, no, this is.
It's a
part of this.
5-hour meeting. I've only listened to 3 hours. It
Yeah,
won't be-
I watched it last night, and there was a debate going on whether or not they were going to shift the election date as well as the town meeting.
I couldn't
One or the
tell
other
you.
or both?
Couldn't tell you.
Because that might give us some more
regardless,
time.
From it sort of doesn't matter to us. The
Okay.
town council has our article, is modifying it, and however long that takes, it'll be ready for town meeting.
Okay.
So I'm not going to worry about it.
Yeah.
Okay,
And,
Well, so, it's a valid question, but I don't know, it doesn't affect us, so
Right.
let's move on.
And should we talk about presenting it at town meeting? I think our principal assessor should present articles.
Yep.
oh, yeah, let them throw stuff at you. Yeah, they'll-
Or- I don't know.
With the support of one board member?
You gotta have, one of you guys have gotta go stand up.
Yeah.
You'll
I
still
think
be
you
on the
can do
board.
it yourself.
I
Honestly.
think, I
guys.
think it's very confusing.
guys.
I mean,
Not
when
yet.
we did present it, there was some confusion. It is confusing. I mean, even when we
Well,
researched.
by separating it into, we've done it in like 4 steps.
Yeah, yeah.
By separating it in 4 steps, we try to make it as simple as possible,
Yeah.
as straightforward as possible, not simple. Because it is not simple. But,
But I think with the clarification that our town council is going to put into it,
Hopefully
it'll
that'll
be
Straightforward.
a lot more straightforward.
We can-
We can put together a slideshow that makes it very clear.
and
Yeah.
we don't have to do it today, but yes.
Yeah.
Do you think someone will ask what the COLA is?
Cost of living adjustment?
Yeah.
It was-
What that amount will be? because.
We don't know yet.
Well, I'm just trying to think if,
You know
Well,
what
we
last year's was, and I think it
we
was
can only-
like 2%, 2.5% or
It's,
something.
it's
We can't
whatever
talk,
it gets
we
set
can't
at.
talk about that, we don't know.
yeah, I'm just
Because
wondering if.
it's annually.
And when does it get set? What time of the year does this date set it?
I don't know.
Linda might.
I'm thinking, well, I'm just wondering if it was set already, and it was set for 2025,
Right,
if we will be using that amount.
yeah.
I'll have to
For
look.
2026, for 2026.
Yeah. I don't know, that's
We
what was my
told the
question.
town what it was going to be.
Oh,
Well,
how do other people do it?
I'll have to check on that, because,
And then we have our answer.
yeah, I'll check with
When
Little.
we asked for the cost of living, we
Yeah.
mentioned that right
Because
now,
I don't
Department
know
of
if
Commerce
they'll
or
need to
whatever
be.
Yeah, I-
had identified
COLA.
like a
Yeah.
2-something percent.
but that was for the prior year. We don't have the next year's yet,
Yeah.
I don't think.
Well, she's going to check with Little.
I'm gonna check with Littleton.
We'll know more next week.
We will.
I forgot we had a meeting.
That's what's
next
great, is you can always pick up the phone.
It wasn't on here.
week. Okay.
Call someone else.
Thank you.
Next
Which day
Wednesday.
is it, on Wednesday?
Next Wednesday, the 19th. Because today was the 13th of February, what do I know? If anybody stuck around to hear that, welcome aboard. Thank you.
Okay. Another meeting.
All right. And we still are looking at April 2nd and April 16th.
And I will send an updated schedule.
have it.
We will have this room every third Wednesday.
Every third
So
Wednesday.
that's
We-
changed.
can-
I'll send that in email. I
I'm
didn't,
just wondering, can't we just consistently meet in the other room? I think it's still open. She didn't fill it up. And that way, we don't have to switch back and forth between two locations. Otherwise, we're just going to show up at the wrong building.
well, I'll put it in the agenda. I kind of like having it
Sure,
here
I'm
because
confused upstairs and
we-
All
downstairs.
right, fine, my preference would be, set it and forget it, but
Well, I can do that too.
Just with having the other meeting, I only have a few minutes to get up here and,
your last one's next week.
well, we don't know that, but
All right, where are we?
Anything on policies we wanted to talk about? We talked about policies sort of as we went, but.
Yeah.
I did put together, well, that list that I gave you, that I gave to Jen.
Oh, yeah, that we
the
need to
starting
review.
point.
So how about we review that and then,
Next week? Okay, so that'll be on the agenda next week.
yes.
Cool. We have upcoming meetings. We've just discussed that we're meeting next,
19th,
Wednesday.
March 19th, next Wednesday.
and what were the other ones?
After that, we are meeting in April, on April 2nd and April 16th.
Okay. Well, we
We
have
did
our-
not schedule a third meeting in April. I don't think we need one, but it's just before town meeting, so if we do, we will try to schedule something then. Sorry, go ahead, Ms. Kamer.
Oh, I was just wondering if we'll be done with our abatement stuff next week.
Well, we have up to 90 days after the
I don't think
application.
so.
We may have some that
Okay.
won't, that'll slop over.
This is too many house
Oh, we
meetings.
we really have to wait, give,
We got to get some
The 90,
information from
yeah.
some attorneys, we have to get,
Okay. I was
there's
just
some
getting
stuff that I think
excited.
we're waiting on.
I was
Oh, I
just
know, to
getting
get them
excited
wrapped
about
up.
the idea.
we have 90 days to respond, so.
I know, I just don't want us to take 90 days if
I
we can
guess I'll
help.
look
We are
at
trying not to.
Yeah.
the four abatements that are left, look at when they were submitted, and then
Yeah.
maybe we make a decision closest to that.
Well,
Yeah.
we can't make a decision until
I
we have
mean,
all the
I know-
information we
I
need.
know
No,
I know
if
we
we
can't do
don't,
anything with,
though.
I know, oh, sorry.
I'm sorry, if we don't have all, we might not have the information. If they don't respond, it's deemed denied.
But not till 90 days.
We
I-
have to
I know about
respond within 90 days.
But I know about that issue, but what I'm hoping is, like, when we, in future years, when we get to abatement season, we just focus on cranking those out and getting them done and make that our priority during that time period.
Yes.
So that, like, people put it in, they get speedy feedback, as speedy as we can get it without making a mistake. But like, during the week, that's our priority. We're getting out, we're scheduling, and we're getting those inspections done so that the people are getting it back as soon as we possibly
I
can.
think that's mostly happening now,
Okay.
other than the state keeps scheduling stuff for conferences
Oh.
that make no sense right in the middle of abatement process timing.
Yeah,
But, we sort of have to attend. Probably ought to think about, well, anyway.
I think it makes it difficult with everything that's going on. We got the commitment, and there's been
Yeah.
other things that's, and then this weather, I mean, other assessors, when I went to my conference, they weren't even starting abatements because they won't go out in this weather, and Denise and I are out, trudging around in like
Snow.
icy conditions.
That's
and-
fair, yeah.
But we're getting it done because we don't want to wait.
Right.
yeah. I just, if I have something on my calendar, I just want it done, so.
Yeah. Oh, I don't, yeah,
And I feel like you're the same way. I just,
yeah.
I don't know.
I know you and Denise have been going on a lot of them together, and I think now that she's been on board for a while, we need to be able to separate the two of you so that we can do more work rather than two people doing one work.
We've just been going out, like the complex ones,
And those,
we've been doing, but
right.
for the most part.
When we talked about that it's 5 units,
Yeah,
that needed to be
yeah,
done together.
yeah.
I absolutely support
Yeah.
that. But I just say, in general, now that we've had some time, we guys need to start working a little bit independently on that.
Yeah.
Some of them aren't that difficult, so,
No, I think it was just because she isn't familiar with the abatements.
yeah,
and-
that's fine.
And I honestly kind of felt that I wanted to make the judgment call on them as well, and oversee it, so,
Well, and you guys are just
She's-
starting to work together, so
Right.
it's good to get the expectations from each of you.
Right.
but she
I'm-
does all other inspections all on her own. I don't go out to any other inspections. for
I'm
that.
just hoping as you guys get more comfortable working together, we can go through abatements faster, maybe. That, it's a wish,
It's-
not a,
It's about next year. Jack
Yeah.
doesn't care.
I
Yeah,
think we
Jack-
went,
You'd be surprised.
I think we went through them pretty quickly. I mean,
I think so,
I
too.
was.
I think so,
was
too.
feeling
I-
very stressed with everything else going on and having the abatements on top of it. It's
well,
been
and
a
you have
lot.
a munis conference to go to?
Trading.
Training.
Well, that's going to be April. Vision is holding something tomorrow, which I do think, I do want to speak with somebody because we do have things, some questions with Vision,
Yeah.
so,
So some of that stuff will
Right.
be off your calendar in the future,
yeah,
so.
yeah.
And you have a full office, so it should get easier, hopefully.
Well, hopefully, we have things coming up. The problem is we're still digging out of 23 and
Uh-huh.
even 21 and
Yeah.
22.
And you guys have
We've
caught a
made
lot.
great
too.
progress on it,
Yeah,
but it
It's quite a hill.
was quite a hill to climb.
It's still quite a hill. We know that.
Anything else on the agenda? Before I call for public comment, any public comment from the public? Is there any public out there? I don't see any. Any public comment from the board?
Yes, just to let
Please.
you know what's happening a little bit further. Tomorrow, I meet with, Pauline should be back, the person that I've been working with on deferral, who was supposed to be dropping it off today. She's also included her, she's filed her taxes with the circuit
You
breaker.
promised that one 2 weeks ago, so it's
Yeah,
still
I
coming,
know.
huh?
Yeah, you know what, she had excuse me, I can't tell you that.
Nope,
I can't
you can't tell me.
There was a
I'm
very
here.
legitimate reason for that. Okay, so anyway.
Sure was.
The
what'll
deferral was
hap-
going to happen, it's going to still happen.
Well, okay, there's other pieces that still have to fall. And that, okay, I'm meeting with Pauline so we can go over and make sure that she understands what the processes are.
The applicant?
Then, with the applicant.
Okay.
And then we come back and we have to submit it to this board for review. The board can say yes, but then they have to take it to the bank to come back and say, will you?
Hopefully,
will you
they've already
agree?
greased the wheels with the bank, but okay.
The banks don't like to, unless they have something like our signatures, they don't even want to talk to you. So what'll happen then is we come back and then she has to take it down to the bank and
The applicant
get to approve.
has had a conversation with the bank yet?
I have not asked that. only because I just found out there was a bank.
If,
Oh, do you know who the lender is?
if,
or the-
well,
I don't know. I don't know.
we aren't going to talk about a specific situation. The
Yeah.
question is this person really ready to come forward with their deferral application? And it sounds like maybe not, but go ahead.
I believe, based on what that person, excuse me, has stated.
You can say the applicant, and everybody will know.
Okay, the applicant has completed the circuit breaker, filed her taxes with the circuit breaker, and it's now, I've also confirmed that this applicant has filled out the CB form, and I'm asking her to take it to Pauline, and therefore we can make sure that Pauline will scan it, make sure everything is done before we toss it into the process on this side.
So,
And now the question becomes, can Pauline bring this to us, or do we have to have the applicant come back and,
Pauline's not the applicant. The applicant should bring in the application.
okay, so if the applicant signs it, and can Pauline bring it in, send it along to you, Linda, or do you
Would you
want to make
s-
another?
Well,
Would you accept an abatement request from someone other than the applicant? If they physically were signed by the,
well,
I don't want to set a new process, that's the
Yeah.
issue.
Yeah,
And
I think the applicant should come in case.
okay, we can ask her to do that.
Make
We
sure that we
can
have-
certainly ask her to do it, I just wanted to know, it's just a little, another step, but.
Yeah.
And so, okay, we'll make sure that that applicant, excuse me, brings it into yourselves. The concern I have is that you're only here one more day. And
what's that mean?
meaning that you take Fridays off, right?
No,
Oh, we're
the
closed.
office is closed on
The
Friday. She
office is
doesn't take
closed, yeah.
Fridays off.
Our office is closed. I
All
wanted
town
to,
offices are closed on Friday.
Are yours?
Town offices.
Town
All
office? Yes, that's
town
what I'm saying.
offices in lieu.
So I'm going to have.
She's not taking the, well,
I-
to call it to taking the day off, she's not taking the day off. She's not supposed to work that day.
She's done her work week.
and some days I don't.
It just, it sounded, it doesn't sound.
Sound good, I
Well, it sounds like she's just taking time off willy-nilly, and she's not.
She's got the-
So let's just be
Okay,
careful about how
town
we characterize
offices,
stuff.
I'm not quite as particular in my.
Well, I am.
I know you are.
It
You're a pain in
irritating
the
because
ass.
I actually.
Because you're always right.
But I actually get out of work earlier sometimes on Friday.
Yeah.
And I can't get anything in town done, so I
Yeah.
understand. But our town is not open on Friday.
I know. So if we
If we
can't
want-
get her to be available, then it won't happen till Monday, and then I would ask.
It's already
that-
2 weeks late, so it doesn't matter.
No, it's not.
You told us it was going to be here 2 weeks ago.
Oh.
Not here.
Jack, would she qualify for the 41C? Because my thought process is that maybe this new exemption,
I haven't seen her data.
okay.
You know, I haven't seen her financial numbers. It's a good chance.
Because
So
maybe that would be the
Okay,
option.
Okay,
Public comment.
okay.
And,
This is not, right, this is not a public comment. So,
okay, I'm giving you an update.
Point- well,
And I'm seeking
the
guidance.
update is you're still trying to get the applicant in here, so great.
Okay,
When the applicant comes in, then we'll have something to talk about. I think.
yeah.
Awesome. Is that everything?
Do we need to see and interview the applicant when they
Well-
submit it?
So we're defining a
we
process
want-
right now
I just think that.
Okay, you're
she-
right.
in public
In
comment.
case we have questions, she should deliver.
Okay, she'll have it delivered,
or if
and
she
she's,
can't, we
we're gonna
can
send her
call
to
her.
you then.
If she can't come in, we will call her, but
Okay,
I just want to make sure that she has everything, because we don't
Yeah.
have any 41As, so,
Yeah.
I know, this is a first, this
It's
is
a
neat.
first.
This is neat,
but if
You got to
she-
make sure we have everything, right?
yeah.
Yeah, we need to make sure we have all the documentation needed, so.
And that's what I'm trying to do, to make sure you don't have to work too hard.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for allowing me that leeway. Allowing that leeway for me.
I want to have a discussion next meeting about 41A applications. If we can put that on the agenda, that'd be great.
Are we going to executive session now, Mr. Chairman? I've stopped.
We are, is there any more board comment?
No.
No, I promise.
Hearing none, I will entertain this motion down here that somebody's going to have to read.
Oh.
Sarah does that so
sure.
well.
Okay. A motion to adjourn the meeting and enter executive session, not to return to open session after exiting executive session. Our motion to enter executive session under purpose 7, to comply with or act under the authority of any general or special law or federal grant and aid requirements. And our executive session is for the following. Applications for abatement or exemption under this chapter shall, except in proceedings before county commissioners, the appellate tax board, or a court of the Commonwealth, be open only to the inspection of the assessors, the commissioners, the deputies, clerks, and assistants of either the assessors or the commissioner, and such other officials or designated private auditors of the Commonwealth. That's Chapter 59, Section 60 of Massachusetts General Law. That's the law being cited.
So moved. Second, whatever.
No further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. We are adjourned from open session. We can shut off the Zoom, and we can shut off the recording, please.
It is on air.